Wall Street is now online, baby. That's right. Visit the GW District. Shop the very best in men's and women's apparel and accessories, home decor, office supplies, books, pantry items, and so much more. The GW District is a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media. We're both veteran and Black-owned, and we're bringing you the best online shopping experience with products made by small businesses. Come and experience the GW District difference today at shopgwdistrict.com. That's shopgwdistrict.com. The GW District, a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Hate shit. Let's see.
Here, I'll take the hood off just a little bit. Mostly because it keeps slipping anyway.
Yeah. Oh my god, I think it should be recording. You said recording on
I think so, yeah. It looks like it's recording at the top there.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all my listeners, and because this phone want to act stupid sometimes.
It happens. Tech is like the worst.
You ain't never lied, and like I said, you're looking gorgeous.
Thank you.
My favorite bunny.
No. I bet you say that to all the bunnies.
Shit, they look like you, yeah. The word going on. So, how you been? What's been going on? How life been treating you, gorgeous?
So, other than like a small like spate of sicknesses, I've been doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I got a tooth infection a few weeks ago, and it was like a wisdom tooth infection back here. So at 35, I had to get my damn wisdom teeth fucking removed, but just one.
Yeah.
Last week. So that was annoying because that got in the way of like getting ready for Halloween content and stuff because I look like a fucking chipmunk for the first 2 weeks of October.
Yeah.
But I did just get back from the YNOT Cam Awards. It's a niche kind of specifically like streaming award that was done in LA. So I'm part of a mutual aid group. I didn't get to get into this too much the last time we talked.
Yeah.
But I'm part of this mutual aid group called Suede Vegas. So I went for specifically for like Suede Vegas. And real quick, what that is it's a local group for sex workers, specifically run by sex workers, where we do like social events. We do emergency cash grants, actually, like just small micro financial assistance for anyone who can go through a verification process. We give out harm reduction supplies. So I was at this LA award ceremony, basically dressed up in another costume because it's October.
Yeah.
And we were giving out Plan B, and I was telling everybody have a cream pie on Suede because that's fun. And like giving out condoms and stuff. We also were giving out like fentanyl test strips for people who like to party, but we want them to party safe.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of what I do in like my kind of like activism charity side. So I've been more doing sex work activism than actual sex work lately because of my stupid tooth. But that's what I just got done lately. That's what the pictures are on my Twitter from lately when I look like the creepy ass lamb. So, and just real quick, I'm going to do a shout out. It's suedevegas.org. You don't have to be a sex worker from Vegas to apply if you ever in need or if you want to donate or whatever. That's super cool. But as of like this summer, I'm going to brag a little bit. We have given out over $250,000 to sex workers for emergency aid. And there's no application process. We just like make sure you're a sex worker. So for example, like if you're a stripper, it might be harder to prove you're a sex worker online than like a cam girl, because a cam girl can just like send us their links. So what we'll do is we'll do like a little email thing and be like, can you send us your sheriff's card or whatever? And then that's all we need. We don't need to know more. We don't need to know how much you make. We don't care. It's just like you're fucking stuck somewhere. Say you're stuck in Vegas in AEE. You lost your phone. All your shit's dead. You need $100 for gas.
Mm-hmm.
Within 24 hours, we can try to pay you out to either a Cash App or however you want to get the funds to just help out. So that's mostly what I've been doing. I want to get back on the fucking horse for work.
But you gotta get that back right though, because that's the most important part.
Because
you want to see.
So with the wisdom tooth extraction, you can't suck on any. You can't suck on anything because you're gonna get dry socket. So like. Can't be sucking dick, can't be using straws. And it wasn't so bad. Like, it's just 2 weeks out, even on Tuesday. It was just 2 weeks ago I got it done. So, I'm not looking chipmunky. I'm doing okay. But, like, there goes all my early Halloween content. So now I'm going to be a little bit late with some of the shit. But
I don't think the fans going to mind, because as long as they get it, they ain't going to care.
No, I know. Yeah, they're just going to be like, oh, cool costumes, content. They don't care.
Most definitely. So, hello everybody, and welcome to the Smokers Lounge here on Anchor, the perfect app. And we're trying to start their own podcast career. You know what to do. Download Anchor or go to anchor.fm and get yourself a profile. Start podcasting today. I'm your host, Kevin Officer of a Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. Find all my links with one link, allmylinks.com/Porn Rap Star. 3 wonderful sponsors to tell you about: LASworld.com, the Facebook of the LS community, the hottest adult magazine in the game, eroticismmagazine.com. And for you content creators, 90% profit, no hashtag problems, and they even offer health care and even legal advice. I'm talking about excitebunny.com. Also proud member of the GW District Black Podcasting Network. So go to shopgwdistrict.com and shop to your heart's content, especially during these holiday times, and buy from over 500 Black-owned retailers, shops, and boutiques. Also, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, not Friday, not Saturday nor Sunday, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to me on FullySwapRadio.com. Also, check me out on SkyhawkAfterDarkTV.com, as well as the BGP LLC app on their SGP radio. You can access it on your browser, or you can download it to your phone. Now, I'm sitting here with this gorgeous, sexy ass bunny that's thick as all get out. Yeah, I guess you can call her a pog. I just call her just drop dead gorgeous, and she's making it bounce for you people. I'm talking about only Tegan Trex.
Thank you.
No doubt. So I'm glad to harp on in the big backpack on what you were talking about with the activism. Because I do times back in my day where girls are sex workers, they do their tours, and then they get to a city and shit gets and they get stranded. I know. I'm glad that they have something in place now that can actually help girls, because I remember girls used to get stuck like in Atlanta, New York. And I know, and even one time, my ass got homeless in Brockton, Massachusetts.
Right.
Period. So I know it's stressful for a woman to be in a place that she don't know, she's not from, and stuck and have no help. So what tell us more about the organization. What started the organization and all that?
So the organization was started around like right before November 2020, which is a very fucking depressing year for so many people. And it was so the original founders of the group are my friend Summer Hart, my friend Cody Vore, a newer friend Xander Corvus, and myself. And we just kind of got together and we're just like, fuck, how can we help our friends, basically, like our community. And it started really small. We didn't think that it was going to grow as fast as it was going to be, or become as big as it was. But originally we were just like, okay, so you kind of want to like have a small area to try to like properly plan to figure out how you can help people. And like at the time we were like, well, people need money. Like you had all the rent shit going down, and people not being able to work because of lockdowns, and then like productions were shut down so hard. So like, even just because most of us work within the porn industry sector of sex work, right? Like the performer side. And we could see how hard it was for us. So we knew it was hard for other sectors of work, like full service workers, escorts, strippers, like everyone was hit really hard. So we just kind of got together and we're like, well, fuck, what can we do? And so there's this concept. I won't lie, I'm a big old fucking SJW woke ass bitch. Though I don't like to like lecture people. So we all got together in our fields and we were like, fuck, what can we do? And we had like a really small goal. We're like, well, people need money. Like people need money right now. They don't, and maybe they need more. But so when we first got started, we're like, okay, so like we can't obviously like pay people's fucking rent, but how can we help as many people as we can and minimize like scams? Because we don't want to do something that's called mean testing. Like we don't care. We don't want to be like all of the other fucking charities and stuff that are like, we'll give you money, but you have to do it this way. You can't, like, people need help. They need help now, and they need to be able to put help to like whatever they like. Some people need rental assistance, some people need groceries, some people need gas, some people need $100 to throw on their fucking power bill. So we didn't want to like tell them how to spend it. So we decided to do like what was the smallest amount of life-changing money, right? So we figured $100. Like that's not little, but it's not like huge, right? It's enough to help out. So we thought we would be giving out like, we don't know, like helping 5 people a month or something, because we hadn't really like thought it out in our head. And so we kind of like pulled our cash together. Like we were all the original donators of the group. So like all of the funds we were giving out was our own money. And it turned out to be a much bigger deal than we thought. Like we thought we were going to be helping like, I don't know, 10 people a month or something, which is like $1,000. That's still a lot, but like, but no, it turned into something huge. And after like the first year, we had given out $100,000, and we were like, holy shit. So then we had to start figuring out fundraising. Because like so the original founders, like we do give us a decent amount and a significant portion. And the way that the organization is like made is that any one of the founders can also like apply. We're really not means testing anyone. We're not like, we don't care. We don't want you to like have to submit an application. We don't need bank statements. Like we don't care. So like, say tomorrow I lose my fucking OnlyFans, and I lose like, because right now I'm mostly an OnlyFans girl. Like I lose my entire source of fucking income, and I need $100, even though I'm a member of this org, a founder of this org, and have been in there for years. I can apply for $100 because it's just a limited amount. Yeah. So and you can even like request repeatedly. Eventually we will prioritize giving to new people a month, but generically the only limit is like just apply once a month when you're in need. Like other than that, like there have been people that have like needed a lot. So what we'll do is if people have to request like multiple months in a row, we'll be like, okay, we're gonna put you on a waiting list. But other than that, it's like we're good to go. So that was kind of how the org founded, and that was in November 2020. And then as we were kind of doing it, we kind of started like, all right, we started doing fundraisers. So we have like Xander Corvus is a member, a founder. He's kind of like our hype man. So he does a lot of Twitch streaming to get us out there. And then Summer Heart is kind of like everyone's like she is just the sweetest. So she is always like taking care of like harm reduction, and most people who like go through our verification system are usually talking to her. And then you have Cody, who's another good hype man, kind of like PR person, and she's been really gung-ho about getting like a connection. So the award ceremony we went to, she's pretty good friends with the person who runs that one, Jay from YNOT. So that's the only adult industry event we're at regularly. Though we're trying to kind of change that. We're trying to figure out like what is the best goodwill to doing like public events as well as adding stuff. So we started doing things like harm reduction as well, especially when you have fucking the goddamn Supreme Court trying to force me to have goddamn work babies and dumb shit. Like, I'm not having a work baby. I'm not doing it. So we started trying to figure out how we can do like more safer sex supplies and like internal condoms. So we started trying to give those out too at tabling events. And if people need that kind of stuff too, like they can contact us, and if we can, we'll try to send it out to them. We'll either, like, if they're local to Vegas, we'll drop it off. But like if they're out of town, out of state, we'll try to send them stuff. We've been giving out a lot of fentanyl test strips out to places that, you know, because like in our community, obviously, we do a lot of partying.
You know, because it even touched me because the mother of my oldest daughter, she died from a fentanyl overdose. So
ouch. Yeah. See,
so,
and it's exactly stories like that like really like fuck us up, because like you lose a lot of like young industry performers to like, yeah, lots of them die in car crashes, or they do have what's called like substance use disorder or addicts. Like we don't care if you party. Like people party for many reasons. Like just we want to make sure that it doesn't end your life. So we've been giving out fentanyl test strips. When we can, we give out Narcan. We tell people how to use it. Like we've been doing all of this stuff. It's kind of been growing as over the last 2 years, but it was really born out of need in the pandemic, because we kind of noticed that like government options aren't great for sex workers, right? Like people in the more legal parts of the sector, yeah, they can get help, but even they get fucking stigmatized, and then people doing full service are fucked. So we wanted to like be able to help these demographics who are like harder to reach, but also more suspicious of like government groups and stuff like that, because like we're all sluts too. so like there's not any crazy ass judgment on our side of things, you know. We're just like, you know, I love to regularly say definitely like my favorite thing to say is cream pies on suede when I'm handing out Plan B. Like don't have any work babies unless you're a freak and you want them, you know.
Yeah, because it to me is like it's crazy as hell, because I remember when I was younger, I looked into the employment guide of the United States. It's for some of you millennials, it's a book that tells you all the jobs that's in the United States. And one of the jobs that was in there was adult film actor and actress. And like I said, there's never really been, because I've been seeing a lot of, you know, the sex worker activists, you know, this, and this. And I always say, okay, what exactly are y'all doing for them? Because for example, me personally, one of the things that I would love to see is that motherfuckers do, like, let's say a not a stipend, what I'm looking for, a waiver that people can take TTS and they ain't got to pay as much, or something to that nature that favors the porn star, you know, because people don't realize TTS is a lifeline for us, because people do not accept a health department or a doctor. You know, these companies, a lot of companies, some companies do cover your TTS, many don't.
No.
So I always felt that one of the things that the activists should have done, what they should do, is have it to where talent can come to them and get either get some type of assistance to lessen the TTS.
Right. Yeah, like a reimbursement or something even.
Yeah.
There is, oh fuck. God, it's not coming off to the top of my head, but there is something like that now. Nowadays. I don't remember if it's PASS itself that does it or the Free Speech Coalition. I'm gonna have to look that up and actually get that info to you. But there is a group you can sign up for, and they do because it's all talent involved, and as long as you're testing through them, they will do to an extent a certain amount of reimbursements. I don't think it's like the full, like they cover the full test, but they might cover like half of it or something. I'm gonna have to ask.
Than anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, yeah, because like performers are like, okay, so TTS right now, if you're doing the full COVID panel, it's like 190, but if you're doing just the gold standard, it's still like 160. But we got to do that twice a week.
And see, that's what y'all in Vegas.
Or I'm sorry, twice a week, twice a month, every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's $320. That's a lot, and that's just to do our job and make sure we're all safe, right?
Yeah.
So like that's a significant expense.
Yeah, because also it also hurt the newer performers that may not make as much.
And that they don't get as much notice.
They, pay for the TDS, because unlike back in my day, they didn't really require TDS. As long as you had a health department, at least to show that you've been clean for 2 months, people didn't give a shit. But then motherfuckers fake that. I had that argument.
Yeah. You always got fucking grifters ruining it. Yeah. Fucking and our body is our work too. So like I know people who get tested to oh god, and that's the thing too, is getting tested doesn't, for those 2 weeks, doesn't even mean you're guaranteed scenes, because like shit happens, and like from the indie sector, so like I set up all my own content, so I'm not very often not being paid for my scenes, which means I'm a collaborator. So like if someone has to cancel, I'm down a test. Yeah. And like you need to do a certain amount of scenes, whether paid or not, to like be worth that much, right? And so like I've totally had weeks, and it's nobody's fault, because shit happens, where like I set up 3 BGs and then like 4 GGs or whatever, and then like all of a sudden I have to cancel because schedules don't line up on one of these shoots, and then another one, like they can't make it in town or something, so like I'm down half my scenes. Yeah, and then like if I'm selling that content myself, like I'm fucked. So like that reimbursement really helps. And things like our Sway grant can absolutely go towards that, because like we try like most of the way we give out our benefits has been just like if people have like a Cash App or a Venmo or whatever, that's been the easiest, because we can also do it kind of pretty instantly. So like when we just and the money goes to their bank account, so they can spend it however they want. They can spend 25 of that on gas, 30 of it on food, or what if they need to break up the amount, right? So like that was kind of what the group was founded on, was just like giving people a little bit of breathing room, man. Just like,
because sometimes people need help. I mean, people don't realize it's yes, people. It is a porn star's grant. That's what it is.
Yeah. But it's not just porn stars. You're a cam girl, good. And we don't judge by gender. We don't care like because like we often get asked, can like male talent apply? Yes, please. If you're working, if you're a sex worker. Now sometimes like we don't necessarily give out money to like a producer. So like say the owner of Brazzers, like we're not gonna give him $100. But if you're fucking on cam, that counts. If you're a stripper, that counts. If you're a fetish model, that counts. Like, so if you're a performer of any kind, if you're a POV guy, but your dick's in front of the camera and you're filming all this stuff, that counts. Like, so we don't try to do any kind of like limitations that way.
And I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted because your cleavage just looks so I'm just like, oh gosh, you just look so sexy.
Oh, thank you.
So you went to the YNOT convention. I heard so much about it, and everything. How was this year with the YNOT?
So I didn't actually go to the con. I only went to the industry part, or the industry awards night. So basically we had like a table at the awards night. So when people were coming in off the red carpet, we would hand out stuff and like, do our little spiel. But I had heard that it went really well. I know that the YNOT cam like a industry specific convention, so not quite like an Exotica or anything, but I know that there's like been so many speakers who do panels, and so many people seem happy about shit. Yeah, it sounded like it went really well.
Yeah, it is more business oriented.
Yeah. Like the XBiz Con instead of AEE or whatever.
Yeah, because a lot of times us as porn stars, like I was having a conversation with a couple of girls that talk about going to Azaka this year. That
Mhm.
sometimes it's good not to do shoots and focus on your networking and
Yeah,
learning
exactly.
industry at these conventions versus doing shooting because you don't know what you might miss out on.
Well,
Period.
and also like just people's schedules at cons, like
It's crazy.
it's well, it's also plague central. So like this has been I live in Vegas. I am
Yeah.
local to Vegas, and
Mhm.
I see performers try to come in a few days early and a few days after Avian Awards, the AEE,
Mhm.
and they try so fucking hard to set up like a shoot every day and then do all of the booths, like whatever they might be scheduled for, or whatever, they're like meet with their fans, and then go to the industry parties, and then go to like network and stuff, and then like no one has fucking time to eat. All these bitches are eating liquid dinner because they're networking and shit, and like no one's eating a goddamn calorie because they're always trying to make sure that they look good for their fucking shoots and stuff. So like it's just so hard. There's like
Yeah.
people in and out, schedules change last minute. Like when you're trying
And then
setting
being
up shoots is so hard. And I live here, so like going
yeah,
to an exotica and trying to do that, you got to pick a focus
yeah.
for each
Because
individual connection.
also too is pacing yourself because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times, to keep it 100, because we keep 100 on my show. Like me,
Uh-huh.
I don't want to be the third dude down that day.
Yeah.
Period. It because sometimes when that girl come in after she did 2 shoots, she's tired. She's worn.
Yeah.
The pussy been beat up. She ain't gonna give you the same energy that she did the first one. Same thing with dudes, especially
Mm-hmm.
dudes, because some of us is one nut and that's it, or 2 nuts.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you thought about you trying to do 3 shoots and your ass could barely keep the motherfucker up that third one, and that might be the important shoot that might fuck up your career
Right,
because you
like
didn't
the
do
paid
your job.
ones. Like, because I
Yeah,
know people who will do paid shoots and then they'll also try to set up like collabs because, they're trying to
yeah.
get all of their eggies in a basket, which is smart. I'm not saying don't do that.
Mm,
But like, then they can't. And then they go to the industry party the night before to network because they're actually there to talk to like directors and other industry people. Like, they're not there to get fucked. Most industry players I know who go out and like to party are still working. Like they're
mm,
networking, partying. Like, yeah, they're drinking. Yeah, they're having fun late at a club, but it's not fun. They're not like dancing. Like, yeah, they're looking for industry talent. They're trying to get connections. They're trying to figure out when the next big paid gig is and all that stuff. And it's hard to do all of that shit at one con,
tell
you
me about
know?
it. Because
Yeah,
even with
and
me,
then no one's sleeping, and then everyone gets sick. And I'm not saying like for gross reasons. It's just all of our immune systems are shot because we ain't been sleeping.
yeah,
We've been
every time,
drinking every fucking night.
yeah, because every time you're going
Yeah,
from one climax or one environment to the next, of course you get sick.
yeah.
The times when I used to go to New York and I come back to North Carolina, I catch
Mm-hmm.
they had a cold all year until
Yup.
until I came back to North Carolina. So it's kind of like because I know with Why Not, I know a lot of people probably wasn't trying to do content shoot. It seems more
Nope.
about
They were. There was still, and I think it's okay to do shoots if like that's why you're there.
yeah.
Like you focus on going to a con and you're doing that thing, but you're actually trying to connect with performers. That's fine, but you can't do it all. So what I have done in the past is if I've been hired up for a booth
Hmm.
for an exotica or something, then that particular con, I focus on like engagement with fans and getting my name out there and all that stuff. And then like because I'm local in Vegas, I will then focus on people on that con for people who want to shoot.
Hmm.
And then like other ones, I'll be like, okay, at this con, I know a lot of my fans can't make it, so I'm not going to get paid that way. So this isn't a paid con. This is industry networking. So
Hmm.
then I'll go to a specific one. Then I might go to like the seminars and then go to like one or two industry parties. Because I won't lie, I get real fucking tired. I'm so lame, and like I'm such a bad sex worker in the stay up late arena, specifically that one. Like I wake up at 6 a.m. naturally. I get fucking tired at 9. So like I'm at the con during the day and then I gotta pick one or two parties
Hmm.
and like plan for it. But
I do be knocked out by 9 o'clock.
Right?
I be
Yeah.
waiting
And then I'm
for the
still
smoke
in
and
bed by
bitch,
fucking
I went to
midnight.
sleep over 2 in the morning, then missed the party and everything. So
Yeah, yeah. So like when I was younger, when I first started, I was like more into the partying for kind of the fun of it. Not like super deep party, but you know, you see the porn life gets glamorized a little bit. You want to do like the porn equivalent of the Hollywood thing. You want to do the red carpet. You want to dress up. I don't care about that shit anymore. It's still fun. Like I'll choose. Like I'll have a good time for that one. But you know, like I'm like it's like I've been there. I've done that. That's fine. So my favorite part about cons is meeting new people. So like I don't try to focus on shooting too much, especially if I have to travel out of state.
but
But
see,
I really love meeting new fans. I love meeting new workers. I have a lot of fun.
you live in Vegas where everyone pretty much comes to.
Yeah,
So
so it's not hard for me to set up
you
shoots.
don't necessarily have to worry about shooting content per se.
Yeah, yeah,
Because 9 out of 10, at some point in the year, the person that you want to work with is going to come to Vegas anyway.
yeah. And if
For the,
because especially like between Vegas, LA, and like a little bit Phoenix,
mm-hmm.
like I'm right there. I'm right in that fucking nexus. If someone's going to LA, they're usually stopping in Vegas first.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't have to worry about shooting as much. I know that's not the case for everyone. Like
Yeah.
I was literally so so not to segue into wrestling, but just to segue into wrestling a little bit. After I was spouting off about fucking whatever the AEW Dynamite was or whatever,
Yeah.
and I talked to Billy a little bit,
Yeah.
and and he hit me up. He's like, I not like I would be so interested in working with you eventually. And then we had this conversation because like I'm in Vegas. I don't have to travel to go set up. Like you're right. Like I could throw a rock and hit a fucking porn star just like out my door. And if they're
Mm-hmm.
not a porn star, then they're an indie porn streamer, or they're a cam girl, or they're a stripper. Like I can just hit like, but where Billy's at, Billy's got to fucking drive 2 hours maybe to find anyone, because like I don't want to say exactly where he's based, but you know he's based somewhere that's not a fucking porn mecca.
And trust me, being a white porn star in Atlanta is like being a handicapped man trying to run the 100. It's tough. Okay.
Yeah, I do know that there is quite a bit of like really prominent black stars out of Atlanta, but
I totally understand where he come from and that. Cause even with me, when my time, you know, it wasn't. It really was. It was porn stars in North Carolina, but they was more focused on trying to go to Hollywood and get paid for shoots.
Yeah,
You know,
there wasn't as much like
yeah,
indie stuff as there is now. Like fucking performers not realize that, you know, they make fun like a lot of like I want to say more established or kind of like elitist porn stars make fun of like the indie side of things because they're like, oh, they're just bitches with a fucking camera, like an iPhone camera. But like iPhones today can shoot in 6K and everyone has one. They sell ring lights at Target. Like you can get a great setup.
It's not just with the iPhone, because I mean, of course, iPhone, because I'm old school. I'm sorry. If it ain't a camera, I don't want it. But even with an iPhone, you got to still have the lighting. You still got to have everything.
Oh yeah, you have to have the skill with production, but you don't have to have high-end equipment as long as you know how to use it.
Because I'm gonna tell you what's funny. Everyone talk about 4K, 4K, 4K. Here's a hint, people. When you upload your shit to these sites, it's standard definition. They're lying to you. Only a few sites have HD. That's it. If it
And
says
then
that,
like
they're lying.
the places that do 4K and 6K now are all like VR sites, which makes sense. I've done a few actual VR. I've started doing VR shooting with Blush Erotica and Shaundam starting his own VR studio. And in that shit, you do need that higher resolution because I've heard it makes people nauseous when they're watching in the goggles and stuff if it's not clear. But other than that, like all of my selfies, I like most of my photos on my like Twitter and shit, all the stuff I share, those are all self shots. Those are all shot with my iPhone. I do have a camera for like bigger production stuff. So like if I'm making like a video where I'm hiring talent, and I have hired camera guys for sure. But like if I'm making a solo video for OnlyFans real quick, lighting matters way more than the camera I'm using, right? So like and lighting, I have a bunch of like super expensive lighting equipment now, but when I first started, you didn't fucking need that. All you need are those like ugly ass lamps that have like the spider shit and you just bounce it off a fucking white wall, and then you get like one desk lamp, right?
Joe, you know them yellow construction lights you got at Walmart? I had two of them.
Exactly, yeah. The thing about those is they set because they get so hot, but they fucking do the job. You look great, right? Yeah. And then the best lighting, if you can do it in a place during the day where you can be naked, is fucking free. If you got a good spot, you got that good natural lighting, then you don't have to worry at all. But lighting matters so much more than like the most expensive camera. Like my first videos, I didn't even film with my iPhone because God, I started like 9 years ago at this point. Jesus. They were filmed with my webcam. I used a shitty ass a Logitech 920 that films in like potato DP, you know, like and all that mattered was lighting. Like I used my laptop, which is actually nicer than you think because you can see yourself on the laptop screen. So like, but yeah, like, so as long as you have like your shit and you get it down, it's not too hard to produce solo content. That doesn't mean that people shouldn't shoot for higher production because people do care, but like you can get there, you know, you don't have to like, I have a fucking $1,500 video camera, but I don't use it that much. I only use it if I'm putting like
heavy. That's why.
Because then I got to make sure I have a tripod heavy enough to fucking carry it. That's another $200 because you know I'm not gonna fucking drop it. And I do occasionally make, so like I do have a partner. He's on my Twitter. He is used to the fucking hot wife slut wife game. I'm not his first sex worker partner. I had talked about him a little bit before. His first his ex-wife was a performer named Kylie Nash, who is, oh my God, this woman's hustle is amazing. But so occasionally I'll make him bust out the camera for like customs and stuff. So like I do have help, but most of the time, if I can, like I will hire a videographer, or get with talent and we'll go have in for the location and the videographer. And then the whoever I'm working with will come up with our own scenario, whatever. Because like the thing that I don't know that videographers do know, and this is where those skills come into play that are more important, is like, oh, excuse me. It's like how to shoot and edit, right? So like the directing part, like this shot matters because you want this little scene to matter for the storyline or whatever. Because I like stupid ass complicated storylines. So I have this video I just did with Will Till that was my idea. So like, and it was really dumb. So the editing is going to be a little bit of work. I actually need to get in contact with him because I think I missed some of the shit off of my hard drive. But so like we had to do a lot of cuts, and like I've never done this before, but I really wanted to do like, so I like really dumb porn. Like when I make porn, when I fucking fap, I actually read erotica because I'm a nerd. But like when I'm performing, sometimes I like to have like stupid ass ideas because they're fun. So I had this idea that it was me and Will Till, and we were scientists working specifically for like a marital aid science fucking store or whatever. And like, so it was basically we created like aphrodisiacs and shit, right? And there's something that goes wrong in the lab, and we accidentally take our horny pills that we're trying to work on and sell. So it's two scientist coworkers who like, we don't hate each other, but we don't like each other or anything, you know, we're just coworkers or whatever, we're just working on this thing, but we accidentally take the horny pills and we're like, oh fuck. So the setup was like, we're trying to be professional and not like creep each other out, but we know that the only way to get rid of the horny pill effect is to come.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't fuck at first. It's really stupid. It's like, so we have this shot of us just sitting on this like researched like a hotel bed, or not, I'm sorry, like a hospital bed, because we got a wood rocket set, which is really cool. And it was like a hospital setup. And so it's just we're us awkwardly fucking sitting next to each other, and he's just like, because we're trying to still be like professionals and like not admit to our boss we accidentally took the horny pills or whatever. It was something stupid. It was like my character like was like, oh yeah, my dealer's here, and then Will's like, your dealer is a coworker, and I'm like, dude, we work for like a chemical lab. Yeah. And he's like, well, what happened? Where does you like, well, what happened? And I was like, well, so I do my drop off in the lunchroom. And he's like, oh shit, I left a horny science pill sample in there. You didn't take the wrong thing, did you? And just like, it's super stupid. So we're sitting there awkwardly on the bed. He's fapping, but not looking at me because he's trying to be respectful. And I'm like not looking at him. And I'm like going to town like this, like fucking. But we're like, it's weird though. Like that's the whole vibe. Is it's like if you had to imagine.
I can see. I'm envisioning it now.
Yeah. So like, and then after that, we wanted to have like the horny pills like do multiple cum shots. Like that's the whole reason we sell them, right? Is like they make you crazy horny, and if you have a vagina, they make you like if you have a pussy, they like make you super fucking like addicted to cum. Like you want to eat it. You want to taste it. And then like if you have a dick, it can make you come like over and over and over and over again. Like we did like 5 fake pops, and then the last one was the real pop. Because we wanted it stupid. We wanted it like sciencey and dumb. So there was like so many times out. So after we get done with the bit where it's like we're just like fucking awkward. Like I want you to imagine sitting next to your hot coworker and you're like trying to be polite, but you're also trying to jerk off. Like that's what we were trying to do. And then it's just like, okay, so I don't want to be a creep, but like this isn't gonna get done unless we get over our horniness. So like can we fuck, but it's just for work. Like you don't have a girlfriend or anything. We do this little bit, and he's just like, yeah, okay, I guess. And then we just fuck. So it's just like it's super silly. And then in the positions and stuff, we had to do a lot of cuts because he had to do multiple pops, which is so funny because there's one of them where like he's doing it and he's faking the cum, and then we have to cut so he can go out and then get the pre-made fake lube and put it in me, and I have to stay in position like a fucking chandelier, just like this with my legs up, and I can't bend because he's got to put it in there so that when he gets the cut done, he can re-enter and then be like, oh god. like I want to do shit like that. That kind of stuff is hard to film on your own. That is where you need those videographers and directors.
What porn is missing? The creativity that it has.
Yeah, and I can come up with ideas. I'm a great idea generator, but I don't necessarily know the ways to make all this shit really cool. Like I've made some really like that's kind of why I choose the performers I work with, and I like to make a lot of my own indie stuff, is because I have all these stupid ideas. Like I did this other video I did with Will was it's called Thief, or so basically the setup is that Will was a guy in a hotel room whose wife went clubbing, right? And he's like there for work, so he's trying to go to sleep or whatever, so he's got like a sleeping mask on and he's fucking asleep, and I come in as a thief, like an actual fucking, like I went full fake burglar. I'm wearing all goddamn like a dark cropped white or a dark black t-shirt, fucking a beanie. I got a black face mask on. Like I don't look sexy. And I come in and he because we have to have lights on, which is so funny because you have lighting for filming. So we had to give him a sleeping mask because like who the fuck sleeps with all their lights on? But anyway, so we got in and I'm like going through his wallet and I accidentally, like my ass touches his hand.
Yeah.
And he has the mask on, so he thinks I'm his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so to pretend so I don't get caught stealing his shit, I'm just like, oh yeah, honey, let me give you a blowjob so you can go to sleep. But he has the mask on and he's like, oh, you're so, like dumb shit like that. Like I really love making like these kind of silly different kinds of playing on porn. Like I absolutely have like the more fucked up kind of like the darker porn stuff too, but that again, that's also harder to do too, So like it's
Oh,
it's
no,
a lot easier
it
to do
was
these like
something to say
funner.
myself. I wanted to do a vampire scene where we're at the end of it, after the pop, she bites into my dick, and then you
Uh-huh.
and I wanted to do the makeup where you see the 2 teeth marks and the blood dripping out the
But you
dick.
gotta be careful too with these fucking platforms. You can only do a little.
Yeah.
Like I would love to do horror porn, but we can't because people are fucking stupid. You can have Game of Thrones up there
Yeah.
having fucking incest sex scenes everywhere, but like if I have fake blood because I'm a vampire coming out of my mouth, obscene. It's so dumb. But you know, like
I had one scene taken down recently because the girl pretended to be intoxicated, did not drink one beer on during the scene. She just walked in like she was drunk.
yeah, like you're just fucking like you're just coming up with these scenarios, right? You're just like they don't realize we're fucking pretending. And then like so people for like DOMs and doing like BDSM shit, like they have it so much fucking worse too. Like so like for example, like again, I'm mostly an OnlyFans girl right now. But like so I had OnlyFans take down one of my videos because it had lactation in it, but it didn't. I just talked about it. That's it. That's it. The whole video, it was a custom from a member of mine who really wanted like kind of lactation.
It's like them blocking
Yeah.
you talking about shitting on somebody.
Right. Like, and now I'm like concerned about like the kind of shit I can do on OnlyFans generically. Like, can I just like, I would love to do like just a dumb video series that can be sexy or not, because like the cool thing about like OnlyFans is I can throw my content on there, but I can also be like real quick vlog, like check in guys, this is what I'm doing this week, blah 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 or whatever. And I'm afraid of like I want to do like a confession vlog and just be like, so here's some dumb slutty shit I used to do before I became a professional slut, with which I've done a lot. But like, what can I talk about?
Yeah.
They took down a video where I'm just talking like it was just an impregnation breeding fetish.
Have a standalone your own website because
yeah, that's the route I'm going.
Because you ain't got to worry about dealing with that. Like with Model Central. Model Central, I got like a rape play scene up there, which I was called Thirsty. I forgot what I named it. I forgot what I named it. Where basically I'm a sexaholic and the girl was my sponsor.
Right.
And
Oh, that's fun.
Trying to get in touch with me. And she walks into the room and catches me jerking off. And I said, no, I need some fucking pussy right now, bitch.
Right.
Kill me.
But like,
and we literally tussled. Like she told me, she's like, no, I want you to really tussle with me.
yeah, so you guys like planned like some rough shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was straight, you know. Now luckily Facility took it down, but I got it on my standalone site, Black Bull Sex. So I ain't gotta worry about it being taken down.
Right. No, that makes sense because like so there's a lot of like so if I could, I mean, actually I would, there's a lot of sites I fucking shoot for. But as an example, there's this website, Evolved Fights, right? And it's like it's the wrestling fetish, like whoever loses has to be fucked by the winner or whatever. But there's sites you couldn't put that on, even though it's completely fine and everyone's cool because it appears rough or whatever the fuck, right? Yeah. Or like OnlyFans is taking down squirting videos.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Which, yeah, okay, some bitches can't squirt and sometimes it's pee, but like, dude, who cares? It's porn. Like, you literally got famous on porn.
Like I said,
like that's vanilla as shit.
But see, to me, like I said before, when OnlyFans became king, changed the game because it made the MasterCard and Visa, which was used to porn being way more gate kept.
Yeah, with like pay sites having the pay gates and shit.
So when they start seeing more civilians breaking in, and now it's getting more murdier, it scared them.
Yeah.
Really,
they've been having a lot of like bullshit people going after them for like fucking stupid ass reasons. Like I'm gonna keep talking about OnlyFans as an example because that's what I'm most familiar with right now. But like, so like you see these articles going around from fucking like the UK or whatever, the fucking morality and media ass dumbass people or whatever going on and on, be like, oh, kids are being trafficked onto OnlyFans. We found some some kids and showed them and made a fake account for them to show how easy it was. Like, they're literally in these accounts fucking admitting that they got underage kids signing up. And I have to fucking scan my face with OnlyFans 17 goddamn times and be like, no, I'm really me. Here's my goddamn ID. And have my face biometrically scanned in a system. And they're going to tell me, like, no, there are not kids on OnlyFans. They're not.
No,
Like,
I'm gonna tell
especially not now. Goddamn.
The article that started this whole bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually a tube site. It's just that it was a tube site.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem, because tube sites never wanted to verify nobody.
No, they don't, because if they're gonna lose all of their fucking content.
Their traffic. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's where they found that rape video that was in question.
Yeah.
But the reporter, because he was a complete piece of shit and an asshole and a fucking sex worker hater,
fucking has no idea what he's talking about.
Every fucking site that had nothing to do with that one tube site.
Exactly. As if everyone else isn't like. So when I first joined, like, we hated Pornhub and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I knew so many indie cam girls who, like, wouldn't have anything to do with that until they had such a goddamn monopoly on everything that we had to start treating it like social media. Like all these girls who were like, didn't care as much.
Yeah.
They started like, and we get paid fucking pennies for views on these sites.
Yeah.
And we have to be verified even, because like they fucking will verify for us. Once Pornhub made that model program before it got all shut down and shit, they verified us. Like, the porn stars who were willing to put content on there could, but they could still have fucking users uploading stolen shit, and they didn't do anything about that. But like, you know,
the point is, they fucked over the people that already had videos on Pornhub.
Mm-hmm. All they did was hurt workers, and they didn't stop any fucking trafficking. Because all that shit happens on goddamn Facebook. Because
like with me, I was with them for damn near 7 years. Right when they started their model program.
Mm-hmm.
Then want me to sit here and provide all this paperwork, but you won't ask for this when I loaded the motherfucker and verified myself.
Yeah, but they won't do that for fucking, you know, user 42069 bonerhead or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, he gets to upload every video he wants.
Yeah, everything he fucking stolen from us. Like, so it's incredibly frustrating too, because like, not all, because I'm familiar with that case and stuff like that and all that shit, and like, I've got when I'm on my spicier days on Twitter, I've gone toe to toe with, like, what's that bitch's name? Fucking Layla Mickelwaiter, whatever the fuck. I've gone after her once or twice from my little. I like to tell people I'm like D-list famous on Twitter, because I have a good solid amount of followers, and that's like slow engagement. I'm not part of the like new Twitter engagement strategies. I just get too overwhelmed. But like, I've got 25K followers, so like, I'm not a nobody. So I've gone after her a few times. Just been like, you have no idea what you're fucking talking about. And then the case that was talked about, I don't want to bring too much attention to that, because I know that person got fucked over by those people, and she got used. Her story basically, like, for a while she was still a consensual sex worker too, like on her own, as well as a trafficking victim. And those fuckers used her trafficking victim story, used it to hurt her and other workers without listening to us, and then basically blew her off after. She's like, that wasn't my experience with y'all. And then just like totally like, and that person eventually came out and with like this blog post basically saying they were used by this fucking movement, and they feel so like further fucking victimized now, because all it did was take down actual sex workers who wanted to do the job. They lost money, but it didn't stop any trafficking, because that shit doesn't stop trafficking. The secret is none of these fuckers actually care. They don't. The only way to, this is how you stop human trafficking. 1, you decriminalize sex work. This is proven. Fucking Amnesty International goes on about this shit. 2, you stop arresting them. That's the most frustrating part, is that like cities and stuff, they don't know that cops arrest trafficking victims.
Yeah.
They call them victims, and then they say they have to arrest them to save them.
Oh,
Like,
I just no.
yeah, and it gives them a fucking record, and then they can't get a normal fucking
target.
job, which they all want them to do.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why it's, of course, the easiest targets, because they know they can't call the cops, because as soon as they call the cops, they're incriminating themselves.
Yeah, and then none of the pimps go to jail. None of the
Yeah.
people they all say the bad people are. None of the, you know, whatever fucking buzzword they want to use. None of the traffickers go to jail. It's all the victims. Then the victims get an arrest record and they can't get a regular job, even if they wanted out of the industry anyway. Like, it's bullshit.
It is. And
It's
depending on
complete
what
like, and then you have these assholes saying they're like, oh, you know, OnlyFans is trafficking people, when like all this shit. Not to go after Twitter, because I love Twitter, but like, this shit's happening on Twitter, it's happening on Facebook, it's happening on Reddit, it's happening at every social media site. And then the secondary thing was after fucking FOSTA SESTA passed and they took down Backpage. Do you know that after they passed that, they only did like, fuck, I'm gonna have to look it up again so I don't sound like an asshole, but like, like 3 fucking trafficking investigations that actually did anything, because oh my god, they shut down the place that the cops could go to investigate the shit, so now no one's talking. Like, it's stupid.
The reason why they even fuck with Backpage, because the guy was making too much money. That's
Yeah.
why. That's why. He was making too much fucking money from Backpage, and they didn't like that shit.
No, and they're just like, oh, they're facilitating prostitution and trafficking. And then, like, it's so dumb. I could go about this all day, but it's a little bit depressing. So maybe we should move on to wrestling. But yeah, like, fucking, like, I'm opinionated. I'm going all day.
Yeah. Now we get to, well, if this was the wrestling podcast, the pro wrestling smoke side of things. Oh my God! So, because
my history with wrestling is pretty interesting. I watched it a lot as a kid, specifically, but like specifically the Attitude Era. So like, I started with like the Monday Night Wars with fucking WCW and the Nitro Girls versus SmackDown and Raw, and like, I stopped watching because I used to watch it because I have an older brother, so like that was what we bonded with, is like we would watch fucking wrestling, and but then my parents like quit having fucking cable, so I completely missed the John Cena thing. I missed all of John Cena's like rise and stuff. I had like complete, because like I just stopped watching. I missed CM Punk the first time. I missed well, not Bryan Danielson. Like, I missed all of that shit. And then I started watching wrestling again. Oh my god, this is so dumb. So me and a bunch of my friends got together at like just lunch, and we were talking about like the stupid wrestling games from like on like the Nintendo 64 and stuff, like where you can make your own wrestlers, and we're like, oh, that's fun, right? So we got a hair up our ass and we decided to go. There's a GameStop next to the place we're getting lunch, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy a wrestling game. We're all gonna go downstairs or go back to my place and play fucking these dumb wrestling games. And I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it was like 2K, whatever. And then after that, we got back into it again. So this is like 2014 era, 2015. And then I got back into it just as like the Shield were starting to get really big. The first time like NXT, the golden days of NXT kind of being a thing with like the 4 horsewomen. That's when I got introduced to fucking Charlotte Flair and lost my mind because I knew Ric Flair. And then like, and they started taking women's, like, I got right into it as they started taking women's wrestling a little bit more seriously. Like, I don't care if these bitches are hot, but now it was about talent too, right? Like, so I finally saw women wrestlers have like these serious fucking like amazing ass matches, and I lost my mind and I got back into it around then. And then I've kind of like dabbled since then. So I've been watching again mostly since like 2015, 2016. So I hate, like, for the longest time I hated John Cena. When I come back, I'm like, I don't get this guy. Why does fucking everyone love this guy?
Oh, John Cena. See, to give you my background, because I know me and Billy, we have a certain age bracket. I grew up in the territory days.
Okay.
So when we talk about Rick, no, I saw Rick. I saw
yeah.
I saw Dusty Rhodes, Magnum TA, Kid Cole,
when the Undertaker could still fucking walk.
Oh my! I remember him when he was Mean Mark Calloway. Okay, the
Oh
Scott
God.
Brothers. Okay, before he was the Undertaker. Period. And I never lost my love for wrestling. Like I am a
Mm-hmm.
wrestling geek. I'll sit here and watch AAA with no
Okay.
English. I watch New Japan. I've been really into overseas with London, their scene
Okay.
with
Okay. Like so, like
Progress,
the different UK shit.
yeah, and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy because I know I've been on this earth a little too long when I'm seeing the sons of motherfuckers that I used to work.
Yeah. Right.
Saying like,
Damn.
it was crazy to see Charlotte. I'm like, I used to watch your dad goddamn bleed.
Yeah.
It's-
Like that was how
so
I felt watching fucking Charlotte Flair come out to like the updated fucking Flair
yeah,
music with the queen ass robes. Like I lost it. I was like, oh my God, I fucking love this shit. Like, and then oh my God. So I started watching WWE because that was what I knew, back in 2014. And since then I kind of have like dabbled in different things. So Vegas has a really interesting local wrestling scene. I've gone to like
wrestling.
FSW, yeah, Future Stars of Wrestling a few times. Like the
Yeah,
local shit's fun.
yeah.
I regularly watch AEW right now, though I'm gonna go back to also watching WWE. The problem is I watched that. I was watching it on Hulu because I have Hulu, so like I don't have cable, like cable. So I was watching the edited shit on Hulu, and I don't know if they still have it, but and then I got fucking. They pissed me off with how they handled my particular the wrestlers I'm a mark for. So I was like, I'm not gonna watch you right now. And I started watching AEW. Now that's going down the fucking hill. But I was massively an NXT fan. Like I like the more indie style. I do like watching New Japan shows, though I know less, so it's less engaging for me. Like I mostly watch to watch the technicality of the wrestlers and stuff because I understand less of the storylines. So I'm learning. Like, of course, I know all about the Bullet Club now. Um, for a while, I was really into Lucha Underground. Like,
Lucha
loved
Groundhouse.
it. I love luchadors.
God, I hate it went away. That to me was the shit. I
It
hated
was
it
such a good setup. It was like,
Ciro Miedo. I'm
yes,
sorry.
God,
Pentagon
like,
shit.
like, God, I don't remember what season this was from or what fucking match. Like me and my friends stole because I got really into Io Shirai when she joined NXT, and we were kind of going back and looking for some of her older shit. And there was this Lucha Underground match with her and some other Japanese like stable wrestlers who were coming out and they're like the bad guys. And Io Shirai did some crazy ass shit. I fucking loved Lucha Underground. I like flippy shit. I know that's not everyone's jam. I love luchadors. I won't lie. I am a huge fucking mark for the elite. I love
I'm a huge Jim Cornette fan, but I disagree with him when it comes to the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega to a certain extent.
mm-hmm.
Because I'll be the first to admit Kenny Omega is not the greatest promo, but he is one of the top wrestlers in the game. And the
Right, like
Young Bucks,
when you see like the athleticism parts, yeah, because like there's different components to what makes a great wrestler, right? Like I like to think of these like because fucking wrestling's just porn. Like it's all the fucking same. We're all carnies.
yeah,
Like we're
basically,
all fucking carnies, right? So being a cam girl especially, because like so I like to think of it as you have your showstoppers, so you have your talkers, you have the people who are just like super fucking athletic and the different kinds. You have your big guys who are like always like the big villains, like your Braun Strowman types or whatever the fuck. And then if you're lucky, you get the guys that can do like two or three of them, and then they become big stars for whatever fucking reason. The other kind of personal rule I have about wrestling is it's a little bit like football is that like I will fight all goddamn day with people about their favorite wrestlers, but like in good fun way because it's kind of fun to fight about something stupid. But I'll never like insult somebody for like really liking someone I don't like because like
yeah,
that's the point. Like if everyone liked everyone, then wrestling wouldn't be what it is. Like my favorite thing about going to a wrestling show is heckling wrestlers I hate. I fucking love that, and I'm allowed to. It's part of the jam. So so like I get I get why people don't like the Bucks. They're assholes. Like, they're fucking full of themselves.
Off his heels than faces anyway. I never really
Exactly.
I never understood why they try to make them faces. They're not natural faces. You get what I'm saying?
They're not. They're fucking snarky ass California kids. Like, and like oh my god, so like my favorite wrestler in the whole world is Sami Zayn. I love Sami Zayn. I stopped watching WWE because I was a big Sami Zayn fan during the NXT era, where he was a face. He was a natural face.
Okay.
Yeah.
When he was in Ring of Honor, he wore a mask.
Yep. I know about El Generico. My favorite joke is whenever Sami Zayn doesn't know who El Generico is, and he's like, "Oh, who's that? I should meet him." Like, fucking love this shit. And then I love Kevin Owens too. Like, I love their whole feud. I love them as like totally marks. Like, my nickname. I have a nickname for Kevin Owens. His nickname is Canadian Murder Bear. And even though I haven't watched WWE fairly regularly in the last, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, I still love them. And part of the reason I stopped watching was because they kept fucking over Sami Zayn in championships. He wasn't getting booked the way I wanted. So I stopped watching.
To me, it's like...
Well, he's also annoying. Like, I didn't know that. Like, because, there's also, like, how people are backstage. And I've listened to podcasts, like...
I think they made his character be that way. Because...
They did, to an extent, yeah. Because now that he's a heel, which is this run I've completely missed. I haven't been watching this run, though I, like, check the Instagrams and shit. He's popular as shit right now. He's running around with fucking Roman Reigns and the Usos having a good ass time being a dumbass. Like,
because they be trying to stay in character with some of the shit he be saying, and they keep laughing. But Sami Zayn good as shit though. I really hate that they made him go against your boy from Jackass. I hated that bitch. God,
it was so bad. Because like he used to put on these like fucking amazing AAA matches, especially like if you like flippy shit, like that's what he did. And then as wrestling kind of changed from like the big beefy guys who are like, oh, they look intimidating but they can't move as well. Looking at you, fucking Goldberg.
Leave Goldberg alone.
No. Actually, I've come around to like, oh my god,
I
used to be I hated.
Okay, they were terrible.
But that wasn't the point, right? Because wrestling's fake, so it doesn't matter if they're bad at moving. You pick a character for whoever the wrestler you're trying to get over, or whatever, and you try to make it work.
Because even with me and Billy, because it's like, for example, like with Jim Cornette, I watched Jim Cornette when he was younger. I remember the Midnight Express. I used to watch AWA. One of my favorite wrestlers was Nick Bockwinkel. Love Nick Bockwinkel. Oh my God, he was just so condescending asshole.
Oh yeah, was he like a talker heel?
Oh yeah. He was the Ric Flair with big words. That's what he was.
Okay. Yeah.
With big words, because his buddy was Bobby the Brain Heenan. That before he.
Yeah. Okay.
And to me, with modern wrestling, what it lost was the psychology that the territory. And that's the only thing I think the biggest argument that a lot of old heads have with the Kenny Omegas with the Hangman Page and stuff, but that they don't understand the psychology. Because like, for example, I was watching Tales from the Territories where they were talking about Andy Kaufman versus Jerry the King Lawler. I do slightly remember this now because
I remember Jerry Lawler. He was around in the Attitude Era, so like I remember as a kid him just being super gross. And who was it? Was Deborah? It was always Deborah. He was just always being super gross, fucking being like, "Ooh, the puppies!" Oh, and like I remember fucking like, so I kind of get like what these people are talking about too. Yeah.
That's where people got to check him out. Don't look at the WWE days, Memphis days. That's when Jerry was at his best, when he was going against Jerry. Austin Idol, My man, the Boogie Woogie Man, wait, Boogie Woogie Man, when he was in Mid Atlantic, but he was handsome Jimmy Valiant. Woo, daddy, woo, daddy. You see the toes, god dang it. I grew up all them motherfuckers. Devon Eriks.
Did you watch any I didn't watch ECW, but I knew a lot about it because you like watching stuff.
I watched the pay-per-views. We couldn't get the TV show. That was up north.
Right, yeah, because it didn't have like a contract like on cable like all the other shit.
Yeah, but ECW, I watched that towards the end, right when Raw moved from Spike TV back to USA.
And they had to tone down their shit a little bit. Yeah.
And ECW took its place for a couple of weeks, and then it went out of business. But yeah, I remember saying,
damn, yeah.
I remember all those suckers came to WCW.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they came up with the hardcore title.
My God, I remember my favorite the old school wrestlers I really loved. Like, okay, so you had all your Attitude Era fucking stars, and yeah, I was a mark for all them. Like, I love The Rock, I love fucking Stone Cold, I love the Hardy Boys. I liked the Dudley Boys. Actually, were my other favorite tag team.
From when he was in World Class Wrestling,
mm-hmm.
to when he finally became Stone Cold Steve Austin.
So right, because didn't he used to be like some weirdo beach blonde pretty boy style wrestler?
Steve Austin. He was called Stunning Steve Austin. And
which is insane when you think about what his character became.
And then I remember the Hollywood Blondes with him and Brian Pillman. I was a fanatic for Brian Pillman. I love Brian Pillman. Now I'm gonna tell you who I really liked. Okay. I liked Kevin Sullivan. I was a huge Kevin Sullivan mark because he was just crazy to me. The way Wyatt is, that was Kevin Sullivan.
Okay, because I'm a big Bray fan. I was also the kind of wrestlers I really liked in the older school days that still had like the kind of, I liked the weirder ones but they still understood like the ring psychology. Like I was a big fan of Al Snow. I loved Al Snow. I love Mankind. Like I know Mick Foley had all of these different characters, but I liked Mankind. Yeah, specifically. I liked Kane. I liked Undertaker, but not Hollywood Badass.
No, I couldn't deal with the badass.
I liked Sting. I liked the people who had more of these kind of like big, like scary presences, but like that bigger than because I see what you're talking about when you talk about like dumb fucks like the Bucks and Kenny Omega and the way like specifically AEW wrestling kind of is. Though I appreciate it for different reasons, but they don't have like that presence. Like Braun Strowman's an idiot, but even Braun Strowman, like, you fucking plant his ass in the ring, he destroys it. Like there's you're like the thing that, God, I hate Vince, but Vince got a lot right. Like, there's a presence that like your bad guys, like your real scary bad guys need to have. Like you have your mouthy heels who are like smart and mean and they cheat, but they're like smart and that's the way they do shit. But then you have like someone like the Undertaker who fucking crucifies the boss's daughter. Like that's when I saw that as a kid, I was like, is that real? Like I had to really think about it because I was like fucking 11 when I saw that shit. I was like, but I was like, big brother, that's not fucking real, right? There's no way that the boss would let his daughter be sacked. Like I had to think about it,
days. Okay. Since you're a Bray Wyatt fan.
I am. And I won't I have a controversial take on Bray Wyatt too. I do not like the Fiend. I get why people like him. I don't like, but I love fucking weirdo Cajun ass, fucking creepy eater of world Bray Wyatt. That was my jam. I love that. I love the idea of this.
It's so crazy, right?
Yeah, I just.
Hold up, I'm gonna tell you what's crazy.
Okay.
Watched his granddad. I watched his granddad, Black Jack Mulligan. Grew up with him. Actually, Dorton Arena, I never forget. Match between it was him and Rick, both of them bleeding.
Okay.
I remember, and I lost the book. My granddad took a picture of Ric Flair and Black Jack Mulligan.
Okay.
in the ring, you know, and that's their granddaddy. And then I
Right,
remember
because I know Bray's part of like a wrestling family.
God, he's a part of the Wyndhams. Blackjack
Yeah.
and Barry Wyndham, Barry's their uncle, Kendall Wyndham. That's who
Okay.
that just reminds me of is
Right.
Barry's younger brother Kendall, because they all came from Florida under the
Right.
grant.
Okay. And so they had kind of had that like
Yeah, because they all came
creepy
up.
alligator thing going on.
They came up with Lex Luger, and it's just
Mhm.
crazy how Bray. I can hear his granddad in his promos, because if you go
Because
back,
God, that is Bray Wyatt is somebody who fucking gets a promo. Like, my God, he is phenomenal at like the creepy, like, he is so good. Like, Kevin Owens is good in a totally different way. He's like one of those smart ass heels I was talking about. But like, Bray will send chills down your fucking spine, dude. Like,
I'm gonna tell you who I like promos, and
okay.
I love them. The Briscoes. Jay motherfucking Briscoe
Yeah.
is the shit. I am sorry.
I'm gonna have to go check him
I
out
know
again.
Tony was sick that he couldn't bring them on TNT. And he's smart to keep them. He better keep them, because the Briscoes, because Jay could be a world champion in AEW, or at one point, to me, he had probably one of the best runs as a Ring of Honor champion when he was Ring of Honor champion.
Okay.
You know, and Jay Briscoe be giving, and my favorite one with FTR, my favorite pro with
I love FTR.
like,
I really like tag teams.
oh,
Which is why as a kid I really preferred WCW to WWE, because like that's one of the areas I feel like WWE still like really fucks up on, is like they're getting better, but like they don't celebrate their tag team division enough with like wrestlers who are actual tag teams. Instead they do all those storyline rando tag teams for no fucking reasons. Yeah, like I loved the Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys. I would watch those matches fucking over and over again. Like
man, that's shouts out to the hardest boys from my home state. You know what I'm saying? Which is because even with Cameron Grimes, I watched him before he became Cameron Grimes, when he was Trevor Lee, when he was in North Carolina, and he's way more toned down than what he was here. And even Cedric Alexander, he from around here. You know, I watched him or what have you. And to me, when it comes to tag team wrestling, that is something that has been lost, that the territories had. Because when I think about it, and me and Billy talked about this, in WCW, you had multiple tag team angles. You had
and you also had like stables too. Like there was more like, because this is what I like about what I've noticed about New Japan style wrestling from some of the watching I do, is they do a lot more stables and factions. So it's kind of a different kind of it's a lot more like a martial arts anime. You know, you kind of have these grudge matches. It's more about grudge matches than the good guy versus the bad guy. But what I really like about those kinds of storylines is I really like when tag teams turn on each other, you get a pop and an outrage from a crowd like you've never fucking seen. Oh my God, when fucking DIY broke up, when Johnny Gargano, like Tommaso Ciampa beat the shit out of Johnny Gargano, like I screamed out loud. I went, like, you know, just there's something about like, and especially when you see a tag team that works well together, there's like an emotional component to those betrayals that's not quite the same as like these other grudge matches and singles matches. So like, or like when fucking Jeff Hardy fucks up again and Matt Hardy's got to yell at him on Twitter, like those draw you in. So like I really love tag teams. I love stables, and that's what I loved about WCW. Like fucking I was a big NWO fan.
Yeah, because I think about tag team that had, even when I was a kid, you had Rock and Roll Express, you had the Russians, you had
the Rockers, things like that.
Midnight Rockers, but that was AEW. That was AAW.
Yeah.
Who else? You had the Skyscrapers. You had the Horsemen.
Right, exactly. The Four Horsemen.
One of my favorite storylines was when the Horsemen feuded with the Midnight Express, I actually retweeted a video that I saw of Jim Cornette, and just seeing him and JJ Dillon interact, and it was just passive aggressive. It was like, James, I'm glad you came over here. So we was our tag team shot. And I used to hate Arn Anderson, but as I got older, I appreciated him more.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
people don't realize how many motherfuckers copied this dude. The best spine buster I ever seen, ever. He was the first man to do the gourd buster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, these harder moves.
You know, period. And then of course, on the Mexican side of things, I watched every last one of the Guerreros. I saw Eddie before he made the WCW. I remember Hector. I remember Chavo Senior, Chavo Clack. All them when they was younger. You know,
yeah,
period.
I was a big Eddie Guerrero fan too.
Oh man, I
Them
cried.
and Rey Mysterio. I fucking love my luchadors. I love my high flyers.
Oh, I love Juventud. My shit was Juventud Guerrero. Juventud. And then I remember when Ray lost his mask, when they made him take off his mask.
Oh my god, that was such a fucking big deal.
No, what was crazy was all the girls was like, "Why he wear a mask? He's so fine." And they love Ricky Steamboat. All the girls love
like
Ricky Steamboat.
It's like it's part of the character. Like that's how luchadors are. And also it's so that if the luchador who's playing, not that Rey Mysterio is a character now, but if somebody was playing Rey Mysterio like they are playing El Generico and they get fucking injured, they can send in some other dude. That's why they have masks.
see, I also watched the history of the Explained, where the mask came from, of luchador, what have you, which is funny that American Man introduced mask wrestling to Mexico, which is funny.
Oh, nice. And they kind of ran with it?
And they ran with it. And trust me, I know all the wrestlers. Cybernetico, I'm a huge fan is. Conan, I used to watch Conan and Vampiro. You know.
Ooh, dang, yeah.
The Lumas, what do you say? Lumas Arrieros International.
Well, like, that's why I totally lose it over, like, fucking Penta now.
My God, it was, man, I fell in love with Penta when he was on Lucha Underground. I'm sorry. It was just something about that dude, man. It was just, and then the match he had with Conan, it was on ever since. And I didn't even know him and Phoenix was brothers. They went to the Impact. And to me, I'm just going to say, I hope Tony Khan is listening. Put the belt on, Penta.
For the love of God, please.
Penta should have been AAA champion by now. I think he pissed off AAA. That's why Phoenix ended up getting the belt eventually. Me, he should be in the mix for the world title.
He should be, because not a lot of luchas are big.
And he can go, and he's charismatic,
and he does it all without saying a fucking word of English. Like, I am fascinated by it. Like, so I watched Asuka's NXT run, and Asuka kind of has like a very similar charisma and is able to like express a lot without having to do these promos in English. Like, and I know she's working on it and stuff, but like Penta is the same way. Like, he's fucking expressive as shit with a mask on. Like, this man has so much charisma, it's falling out of his goddamn pores.
See, that's why I think Triple H is taking over, because Triple H, I don't get to talk too much about WWE with Billy, because Billy hates WWE. I have my love and hate relationship with them.
But like, and I totally get that, because I fucking hate WWE too, but I love a lot of WWE wrestlers. So like, it's the only place I can watch them. So like, because I care about the wrestlers, I don't care about any individual fucking promotion specifically. Like
for me, the Roman Reigns thing, his title runs getting stale to me. You know?
Oh yeah, totally. In fact, if I have to watch another fucking Brock Lesnar match, I'm gonna lose my mind.
No, I can't. Lashley though, I'd like to hear about Lashley about to go at it, because I've been waiting for that. You know, but as far as
I don't like Bobby Lashley either myself. I find him boring, but like, he's an actual wrestler at least. Like, I would love to see him beat the shit out of Brock Lesnar.
You had to see him during his Impact days when he was in.
Okay.
Because he was more menacing. He was Brock Lesnar. What we see in Brock Lesnar is now, that was him.
Yeah. And that's kind of the problem with fucking WWE too, is like all the angles is like, and it's like it's the opposite fucking problem of AEW, right? Like WWE is way too fucking scripted. Like they never give their wrestlers any room to work. That's why they fucking lost Bray and then had to re-sign him because they fucked up. And then with AEW, who's trying to be fucking WCW the second, you have all these egotistical hotheads who can't figure out how to make good stories because they're too busy trying to get themselves over instead of telling a great story. So like, you see that with Brock. Like I don't actually have, I say this kind of thing a lot. I don't hate the guy who plays Brock Lesnar because I know Brock Lesnar to an extent a character. Like I fucking hated Roman Reigns for so long. And I absolutely only hated him because I was being sold Roman all the time. Like everybody did. I was trained to hate Roman even though they were trying to make him a face. like, oh my God, this is going to be controversial. It took...
To me, he should have been, out of the 3 guys from the Shield, he should have been the one that turned heel.
Absolutely, right? He has the most presence for that. Like
he has the more persona of a heel than Seth does, or even Dean. Because Seth, I can see Seth.
Yeah, Seth is kind of like a good MJF style heel, but he's not imposing the way fucking Roman is. And they tried to sell him as an imposing face, but that doesn't work. Because when they finally let that man fucking talk the way he wants to, when they finally let Roman do the promos he wanted to, the whole ring shut the fuck up. The whole audience were like, oh, maybe I should watch this guy. And then he got over like that.
Yeah. Because to me, they're so determined to have this Rock versus Roman.
Yeah.
We know he's going to beat the Rock. Because the Rock is not going to beat the belt.
Because that's the problem, is Roman always wins. Like, I also,
It's kind of same thing they were saying with John Cena. LOL, John Cena wins. That was the joke. LOL, John Cena wins.
Like, there between like 2014 and 2018, there was no point in watching a Roman Reigns match because you knew how it was going to end every time. Like a Brock Lesnar match. Every time.
The thing with Roman is he's a good champion. Don't get it twisted. The run he had.
Yeah, and I actually think he's a great wrestler too.
They have not built up enough guys for him to face off, because you're putting him in the ring with Logan Paul. Out of all, I am sorry, I don't see the point.
I don't either. I get the like celebrity spot matches for WrestleMania, or the occasionally you want to do the one fucking big number in the Royal Rumble or something. I get those occasionally, but like
have him go for the title.
No, that's bullshit. Like, no, I just mean like generically, like fucking a squash match, like. But I agree with you, because like they could do so much more with like. Roman's a great example too, because I feel like if they gave him his storylines more like, God, what's the word? Consequences or weight, or like potential, right? More on the line. There's never anything on the line with well, there might be now, but there wasn't anything on the line with a Roman match. Like, I don't want to, like, every time I watch a Brock Lesnar match, I just, in my head, I start narrating what I think he's saying, because he doesn't do anything, because Paul Heyman does it all for him. Which is fine, because Brock Lesnar is a terrifying UFC fighter, which is fine. Like, he has his jobs, right? I used to watch UFC too. I actually stopped because I couldn't handle watching people actually get hurt. So that's why I went to wrestling. So I watched not the Chris Weidman match where he snapped his leg, but I watched the match where Anderson Silva snapped his leg on Chris Weidman. And I was like, that's it. Like, I've seen fucking John Jones fight with a broken toe, but like look like it's broken off, and just like all this shit. And like, I can't handle the real violence, but like, I know Brock did really well fucking there. So like, I'm not saying he's not an imposing fighter, but like, he doesn't know how to play a character, and wrestling is acting. Like, I'm not threatened by Brock Lesnar. I'm just so bored. Anyway, I'll go off around that. But like,
I hated that match with him and Roman, the last one they did. Because I was like, oh, it's necessary. You gonna drive the tractor down there, lift the tractor up, you know. I was like, and everybody just went crazy for it. It's just, to me, I like my matches straightforward and to the point. You know, like
I like my matches to actually be wrestling matches. Every time Brock's on, it's a squash match, and it's because I my secret theory is that Brock Lesnar actually has social anxiety. Like he's freaked out by crowds and stuff, and that's why he's not good at like being a working champion.
Brock is like he's like Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
He can't captivate. He can't give you a 30-minute barn burner 5-star match, but that's not
right. And he doesn't have to do that necessarily, because like as much as I'll fucking make fun of Goldberg all day, I liked Goldberg. Yeah. Goldberg still had a presence. Like he could still talk to the crowd. Like there's different types, you know. And then Brock doesn't ever seem like he wants to be there. You know, like that was always my impression. It's like he didn't care about WWE.
About Brock, he said Brock was never a wrestling fan. He just a guy that saw a way to make money with it.
And which, I mean, people gotta get their fucking pay their bills, right? Because like, there's plenty of people in my job. Like, I identify as a slut. I love my job. I just fucking mouthed off on Twitter earlier today about how much I love my job. But it is work. Like, not everybody has to fucking enjoy having sex in front of camera and get paid well, because they can still do it. And like, UFC sucks in the being seriously injured in intentional way. Like, I always wonder how much those fuckers like have to pay for their winnings for their medical bills.
Actual real fighting. So it's you know what I'm saying? Which people understand wrestling to a certain extent is real fighting. Is just they just know the ending, and they're a little bit safe with each other to a certain extent.
Yeah, it's like I always said it's like a play. You know, it's like, the storyline might be kind of stupid, and the stunts they're doing are kind of crazy, but like the stuff is planned out. The storylines are kind of pre-planned. They know, like, and it's really fascinating how like people will use the way they're fighting to specifically tell a story. Like, I love ring psychology, especially when like two people who are wrestling in a match understand moments and spots and shit like that, and they get the crowd all riled up and stuff like that. To me, Brock Lesnar doesn't understand any of that shit.
Yeah, because I think, but see, the reason why this generation doesn't have the same psychology, because none of them are journeymen. And what I mean by that is,
like, they don't travel through the different
with the territories.
Yeah.
You went from different territories and you learned from the veterans.
You know? And then you learned all the different styles too, because there's different way, like, so like I tell everybody AEW is like for smarks. It's for people who make fun of WWE, or they make fun of the wrestling tropes, because AEW is like kayfabe wink, like they let their audience in on the joke. But that doesn't work for all styles of wrestling. Like, that's nothing compared to Lucha Underground, that has this amazing dark storyline, which is very different from fucking ECW, which was all about fucking thumbtacks and mousetraps.
ECW, I mean, I hear everyone talk shit about, because they call them garbage matches. I guess they'll jump it. But I'm sitting here like, wait a second. I grew up with the dog collar match. I grew up with War Games. I grew up
War Games is such a fucking cool match setup. God, I love that crazier shit. Like cage matches, I love, like, ladder matches are my favorite. Like these kinds of more gimmick matches, I love that shit. I remember I did watch the match where fucking Undertaker threw Mankind through the goddamn cage, and he landed on the ground. Like, I remember that shit. I love that stuff.
I watched the match, the first Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels and Undertaker.
Oh, I bet that was amazing.
Yeah, and that match, and it was funny because at first Shawn Michaels was killing it until he pissed him off, and then Undertaker out for 20 minutes, you know. But it's, to me, I think, just like what me and him were talking about, the strap match that that Drew had with Karen Cross. First of all, Karen Cross had to cut his hair. Cut that fucking hair off. I don't know.
I so don't like Karen Cross. I'm not a mark for him, but yeah.
I'm a mark for Karrion Kross, not
Okay, but like,
the bald-headed Karrion Kross. That's who I like. I don't like this hair Karrion Kross. He don't look as menacing. And like I said, he has great promos. The thing with Karrion Kross is, like I said, is they once they done fucked him up, it's kind of hard to build him back up. And then he comes
right,
back
yeah.
with his hair, with him having full grade of hair on his head. No, Karrion.
And it's really hard too once you lose momentum in a push or whatever. Like, just because of whatever fucking reason. Because let's be honest, crowds are like, they're finicky, and they're fucking like
But
flighty and fickle. Crowds don't give a shit. Whatever, like what works one night doesn't necessarily work the next night. Yeah.
Original strap match, you supposed to touch all four corners. They made this. Yeah, I hate when you change the old school rules for some of these.
Well,
matches.
especially an established traditional match, right? Like,
because strap match that goes back. The dog collar match.
Those go back. Those go
Yeah.
back to like before WWE was WWF. Like fucking.
The Russian chain match. All those matches, you had to touch all four corners to win the match. And that would make it, to me, intriguing. Because you had to beat your opponent down and be able to touch all four corners.
Right, because it like makes the win conditions more interesting.
Yeah. But
which is why I like the gimmick matches. Like, I loved Hell in the Cell, but I didn't care as much for cage matches, right? Because, like, to me...
For WWE cage matches. I hate their cage match. Just for
and this might be why, because most of the cage matches I've watched have been in WWE. Because all you got to do is fucking climb over the wall. You don't have to wrestle anybody to win that match.
And that's what I hate about WWE. WCW, there was no such. You had to pin or make that person submit. My favorite cage match.
Yeah, and the whole point of the cage was just to keep your ass in the ring.
Yeah. These motherfuckers is sitting there escaping shit, and then I remember they didn't have the fence cage. WWE had bar cage, that blue bar, and I was like, they didn't bring back the actual fence cage to the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Like, to me, my favorite cage match of all time, and you should go check it out. It was 12 minutes. I didn't realize it was 12 minutes. I thought it was 30 minutes.
They must have put on a fucking burner if it was a great match in like 12 minutes.
Ask Billy about it. Magnum TA versus Telly Blanchard. I quit match in a cage. American Badass.
Can you, because I'm totally going to forget this, you should DM that to me on Twitter. Just be like, this one, and this one. I can fucking look them up on YouTube and shit. Yeah. Because, like, to come back to the War Games matches, the only War Games match I ever fucking saw was on NXT between Insanity and Undisputed Era.
None of the WWE ones?
Yeah, but here's the thing is that they literally talked about how it was an old style ECW style match, I believe, back then, and like even at this WWE version War Games match, like that, this became my favorite gimmick. It was so insane. And this was between Insanity, which I love this fucking stable in NXT, back when Nikki Cross was actually scary and not whatever the fuck's going on now. But I love Nikki. I like, if she's happy being a goofy ass heel or face, that's fine. Like, you know, but I loved the creepy Nikki Cross. And then with Bobby Fish and Adam Cole.
Undisputed versus Insanity.
Insanity. Yeah, and then they had the cage over two rings. And it was a pin, and just like people got fucking slaughtered. Like there was blood everywhere.
It's the other thing that I hate too. The matches in WCW that were like that, there was blood.
Whether it was bladed or just fucking falling on tags.
Yeah, you're gonna have a straight up cage match and nobody's busted open.
Which is like, that's like, it's gross, but that's the point, right? Like you have your extreme style of wrestling. Like, don't bring up hardcore and then not have some blood, even if it's fake, even if you're fucking pulling out a razor and no one's looking. Like, but that's a point. Like that has its place. Like those big fucking scary ass extreme matches, they have their moments. They're really great for storylines and shit.
You got
like,
Peacock. Peacock. Check out Progress Wrestling.
Okay.
The main event. It was Kid Lycos versus Chris Brooks. Now, they were originally a tag team that was well known called CCK.
Okay.
And this was a no disqualification match.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah. My man Kid Lycos got busted open, bloodied. I loved every minute of it. Everything made sense. To me, it sounds
Like
funny.
it was a high stakes
Yeah.
match.
You know what I'm saying? And it
It
was
gets your
like,
adrenaline and your tension going, right? Like it's fun to watch. This is why people watch UFC, because the violence is real, like super real. But this is all of this with like crazier shit.
yeah. And to me, it seemed like the English wrestling promotions have better storylines than the American wrestling promotions. Because like one of the characters one of the villains that I love on Progress is Spike Trevay.
Okay.
The Sovereign Lord.
Oh
And,
God. Okay.
and he's now people talking about MJF.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get close to this camera. MJF ain't got shit on Spike Trevay.
Ooh, you're already getting me interested because I love me some MJF.
I love MJF, but Spike Trevay beats him out royally as a heel for heat.
Okay. Like generating, like pissing off the crowd and being good with his fucking zingers and shit.
I say, fuck you, Spike. That's the shit. Fuck you, Spike. She come in the ring that day. She holding the belt like, cause he supposed to be like a rich
Snobby
royalty
dude.
type thing. So he's
Okay.
holding the title belt like this with over his arm. He up there,
Okay.
just
Okay.
having about it. And one of the best he gives some of the best promos, period. So one of the storylines he had, he was going against this guy named Carl Noir, who supposed to be one of the top wrestlers over there. He's called the Black Swan. He comes to the ring
Okay.
with the Swan music or what have you.
Oh God. Okay. So he's
So,
a real fucking like hoity-toity or whatever.
So
Yeah.
the storyline began when Spike Trevay confronted Carl Noir and asked for a title match. Carl Noir blew him off.
Mm-hmm.
So months later, because they've been building up Spike Trevay the whole time.
Okay.
Months later, Spike Trevay cost him the world title against, who was it? Jonathan Gresham. This is when Jonathan Gresham was Ring of Honor champ.
Okay.
It cost him the match. And his line was, "Remember me." He said, "You remember me? The guy that shot you turned away?" And he kept calling him by his real name, Tom Dawkins.
That's a dick move.
And he just fucking with him and fucking. So finally they had their match. And the first match they had in disqualification. Mm-hmm. So he made it, he said, we're gonna do the next match was a loser leaves town match. I quit. The gimmick of the Black Swan is he never talks. So Spike Trevay said the only words and the last words you will utter is I quit. That match was a barn burner. I mean, it was brutal. It was physical. But at the end of it, how Spike got him. Because I was wondering, I'm saying, okay, if they're going to put Spike over, how are they going to get this dude who don't talk to say I quit? Mm-hmm. Spike Trevay threatened to smash his wife's head in with a chair if he didn't. And he did.
Dang.
He the wife, but the Black Swan quit, right? You got bitch crying. They throwing shit in the ring. That's how much heat he got. The next show, Spike Trevay comes out and calls your boy out and told the Black Swan, I'll let you stay in Progress, but you can't use the Black Swan gimmick. And you have to wrestle in black boots and black tights. And Dawkins. Oh my God. And they're keeping the storyline going there because now Spike Trevay is champ because he won what was called the Thunder Bastard, which is their version of the King of the Ring. Okay. And he won and he cashed it in and won the title or what have you. And Thomas Dawkins is back and he's wrestling as Thomas Dawkins. So he lost the match and Thomas is about to talk to SoCal Val because he's getting interviewed because SoCal Val is over there now. Spike Trevay sitting there with his heavy hitter monster. He's sitting there, goddamn, with the title belt, waiting for him to speak a word. Back at him, see him. He said, I don't want to talk right now. So he's still fucking with him. And even to his promos, because it was like this one guy did a promo named Mike Bird, this is the next match you're supposed to have.
Mm-hmm.
And Spike Gervais was saying, okay, you sitting here complaining because of what? Because your family was poor and this. It was like, yes, there's a difference. There's a 250,000 pound difference in education between us and this. My house is big. He was a rich pompous asshole, but the promo was so fucking good.
Because that's originally what fucking Triple H was supposed to be like at the way, way early when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley and all that shit. That sounds awesome. God.
I like about Spike Gervais is that, yeah, he's a slimy heel, but he will
But those make the best fucking heels though, right? Like the heels you want to hate, the ones you fucking love to hate are those guys. Like, oh my God. So I'm gonna bring up The Miz.
I love The Miz.
I love The Miz.
I can't be mad at watching his motherfucker. Okay, how can I hate and boo this motherfucker after watching you and your wife and your gorgeous daughters on your reality show? It made me
and not even just that. So like I'm what's really coming to mind too when I think about like someone who really understands fucking getting under their opponent's skin is I just remember the barbs between him and Bryan Danielson when he was Daniel Bryan. And like what was it? Talking Smack or whatever the fucking after show was with him and Renee. And The Miz went on and like, oh my God, there's this one line that basically was just like, you can say what you want about how I wrestle, but I've never been injured and I've wrestled every day for 10 fucking years and other people can't say that. And I lost it like that. From then on, I was like, that's it. He's right. He's fucking right.
He wanted to punch The Miz in the face. He actually admitted he wanted to punch him in the face.
Like he pushed some buttons.
Like
The Miz knows his fucking lines. He knows exactly how to dance and like fucking really make you want to say some shit. And I love that in a heel.
The Miz was very underutilized.
Yeah.
Heel because one, it's certain guys that I felt should always be in the main event picture. The Miz is one of them. Because
God, he's so good on the mic. Like
he's a good wrestler. He's a damn good wrestler.
He is, but like what he's really great at is selling whatever story you want to be sold. You know, like you have those.
That story he's doing now, he's selling it to the T. Mm-hmm. Period. He's selling it to the T. I mean, Dexter Lumis, I ain't too keen on him. I wasn't too keen on him when he was in NXT, but he's selling this. Period. But to me, he should be challenging for one of these belts. He should be in the main event picture because he's that type of a talker.
I mean, he was they gave him the Intercontinental forever. Yeah, but they don't do anything to make these into like the more mid-card belts. They don't do enough to make them more prestigious.
Man, it's just
because like the Miz would kill it as world champion, even if they just gave him like a 2-month run, just enough. Like, could you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, his title runs to me was some of the best ones as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when he beat The Rock and Stone Cold. Mm-hmm. And became champ. He had a nice good run as champ, and I liked it. And to me, and even with Maurice was pretty good.
Maurice, God, she's so hot. Her fashion every time she comes out in something, I'm like, damn.
But I'm just. That's why I said, I'm a wrestler. As you can hear, I'm a wrestler bar just like you, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I even watched the NWA on YouTube. I've been watching that. I've been enjoying that too. That's pretty good. With Matt Cardona on there, Nick Aldis. Love Nick, man. Nick Aldis is doing his best work right now. I'm like, I love the fact he had to steal the line from Ric Flair. Look what's making this go crazy.
Because let's be honest, like, if Rick is smart, which he's not, he's got to start giving his shit to these younger wrestlers, man. That boy's gonna be like the fucking Eagles and have 17 final fucking matches.
Man, Rick, I really hated he had that last match. I really hated it because I didn't get to see it. I saw bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
Him talk about her, Jim Jarrett talk about it. The build for it was on point. The
Yeah,
build
because
for
he can still do storyline shit, but that man's like fucking a billion years old.
Rick, nah,
You
he
have
don't.
to be careful. Like, could you imagine being the dude that breaks Ric fucking Flair? Like, that's a sin. Like, and I don't like Ric Flair. I don't think he's a good person at all. But it's the last horseman, dude.
Like he must think he Ricky Morton. Ricky Morton the only one that still can go. Now I give Ricky Morton props. He can still go. You know, and Terry Funk went for a long time into old age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was a huge Terry Funk fan.
Like fucking even Sting is wrestling like smart, right?
Yeah.
Like when he does come out, he does one spot, but he's really careful. And like none of these fuckers can walk anymore. Like you can't what Matt Hardy can't wrestle anymore. Jeff Hardy can if he'd stop getting fucking DUIs. but Matt Hardy can't go. He can talk all day, but he can't. Like every time I watch him in a match, I'm like, you need to stop, dude. You can't do what you used to do.
Don't look at the WWE days when he was with Triple. No, you got to go back to the Horseman when he was Ric fucking Flair with them.
Well, because like I remember Ric Flair from WCW days mostly.
You saw it towards the end of WCW.
Yeah. When he was running around with Dean Malenko, the new Four Horsemen, not the original.
Mid-Atlantic Championship wrestling days back when the Horseman was first formed.
Mm-hmm.
Rick, it's just his promos, man. It was just like Rick, like just the shit he used to say, Space Mountain, and he used to tell Tony Schiavone, you wear these cheap suits, you need to go where I go to get suits worth $2,000. My shoes, $2,000. You know,
like he was fascinating to watch. The fucking crazy ass
Rick
blonde crazy fuck. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me check. Ric Flair, this is Dustin Rose, daddy. This is Dustin Rose. Are times when you took the world title, you gave me all time. I need you to touch your televisions right now, daddy. Then I'm gonna get the NWA world title back from you, Ric Flair. You and the Horsemen. We're gonna get Ole Anderson. It'll never be over, Ole. It'll never be over.
So to bring it back to work a little bit, I have done just a few. I want to do more, but I have done just a few really dumbass wrestling role play customs. I had, because I used to, so I don't have a Snapchat right now, but when I did have a Snapchat, I'd get really bored and I would do like wrestling impersonations. The person I really loved to mouth off like that I thought was like stupid but fun was fucking Enzo Amore. He was my favorite. Because he just said the stupidest shit and it was just so much fun to mouth off, you know? Like,
I love Enzo. Oh God, he is.
And, oh my God, the look on my face when I realized that he wasn't a character. Because you know how like some wrestlers hype up whatever their weird shit is and then they turn it into a character and go to like 100 with it. Nah, Enzo Amore is just from fucking Jersey, man. That's just how he is. So I started with that, and then I had fans realize I was into wrestling, and it became like a big part of my brand for a while. And they're like, okay, so this is gonna be weird, but like, can you do it? I did a Carmella video. And I didn't like do like I basically just took whatever fucking like slut clothes I had that kind of looked like I didn't like because you can't find a goddamn cosplay costume, right? Yeah, like it's like
gross.
So like I was just like whatever fucking like bathing suit, and then I got some stupid ass fuckboy hat, and then like these big boots and stuff like that. But what really killed it was like this is when she had her Money in the Bank run.
Yeah.
So she was running around going like Mela is money, and the whole script was like, I'm getting ready for a big ring match, and like So I have a home gym, so I filmed at my home gym. So I get dressed in like on my gym and stuff. And then because I'm super lame, oh my god, I actually think I have it in this closet. I have the old NXT, like a replica NXT championship belt, so that's in the video. Like I'm carrying that fucking around, and like, but it's also weird because it was a fetish video, not like a wrestling fetish video. They're like, so it's I'm role playing as Carmella. I'm getting ready for a match, and then I come back from the match and I fucking win and I'm super stoked. So I meet up with a wrestling fan and I'm so excited over winning. I fuck the guy, like, because of course, right? It was a custom. It doesn't have to make sense. But it was also a pantyhose fetish and a foot fetish video. So like I had to work that in as Carmella pretending to fucking do a foot job with a dildo. And then somebody saw that and they're like, oh my God, you have to do a Bailey video.
I can see you as Bailey.
Yep. And I did a Bailey video and I was a little upset because they didn't let me do heel Bailey. they wanted face Bailey. And I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to turn the nicest girl wrestler into a porn star? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? So that was a virtual sex video, which is one of those ones where like it's not literally virtual reality, but the style of the video is like you don't necessarily see intense penetration because they want to imagine they're fucking the person, so it's a little bit more of those fake kind of angles. And and I shit you not, one of the lines I say is I go, oh my God, you're gonna turn me from a hugger into a fucker. Like it's so stupid. I fucking loved it. And it was literally like Bailey being like, I've never had sex with a fan before, wink wink. And like the fan had bought me because this was the best part, was at the time WWE had like Bailey clothes kind of, so I could even do it. And like, so I got the fucking headband and I got like one of her tank tops and I got like one of the Bailey leggings that were all like super cute and they had like the stupid stars and shit everywhere. And I fucking, yeah. Like I like the intersection of fucking porn and wrestling is huge. Like I learned this a lot like watching. So a big part of the reason why I like the Bucks is I really like wrestlers that have stuff outside of wrestling, just because I like to get to know the wrestlers better. Like if they have podcasts or if they have like vlogs and shit. God, I hate Sammy Guevara. But no, like if they have vlogs and shit, it's nice to be able to get to see who the wrestlers are too, like outside of wrestling. And watching some of the like the Bucks have this thing where they'll get like room service. Yeah, they'll get like room service with some wrestling fans and they'll just chat and shit. And one of the things they keep talking about is like how in Japan they would meet up with wrestling fans and like sell them their clothes after.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's just fetish shit. Do you have any like?
No,
they're fucking sniffing them leggings, right?
They have a fan that takes them around. It's called a benefactor. They have a fan. The guy named Mozzie was their benefactor. Like he takes them around, shows them around, make sure they're taking care of the whole night.
And like buy some food and like that's their thing. That's like, I mean, like and cam girls totally have the same fucking things. Like it's like exactly the same. Like these fuckers are selling their socks after matches and shit.
I'm gonna tell you who I would have you play. I have you play Blair Davenport.
Oh, who's that?
She's on NXT. They haven't used it.
Okay, because I haven't been watching NXT lately, which I'm gonna start again because Triple H is in charge again. But
her name is not. Her original name is B Priestley.
I know B Priestley a little bit. Yeah.
She Will Ospreay's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would be like, who would I play? I couldn't be Lashley because I'm not muscular enough. I would have to be either I play like a security guard or I'm a or some of that nature, and like you're Priestley or what have you or something. Or or I might be like the trainer, not supposed to be giving you a massage, what have you, before your match. You might be B Priestley or something like that. What have you. Because it's funny you said wrestling and porn. People remember, China did porn, and then you had she did some porn back in the day. And then I think it was another female wrestler that she had did porn, and she ended up getting fired from WWE because they found out about it. I can't remember.
Yeah, which is dumb because
Yeah. But-
fucking I can't tell you how many goddamn like wrestlers are basically opening their own fucking OnlyFans right now, and I don't mean just because I know some wrestlers are actually doing an OnlyFans, but there's this this ripoff.
Matches.
Yeah, there's this ripoff one called Brand Army. It's just a fucking fan club. It's just like Loyal Fans or OnlyFans or whatever. But all the wrestlers who don't want to have the guts to open an OnlyFans are doing this Brand Army thing. Like the Inspiration. I know they retired from wrestling, but fucking the Iconics or whatever. They have these brand armies, and they're like fucking taking risque as pictures and shit. Fucking Thunder Rosa has one, and Thunder Rosa's posting shit on Instagram. I'm like, bitch, I know that bathing suit.
I have a crush on her. Good.
Well, she's got a brand army if you're really bored, and she's posted some real fucking thirst traps on there. Like,
no, but for real, a lot of them they post pictures, and they also do what's called custom matches. I know.
Yeah.
It's this one. She's a wrestling personality, Selena De La Renta.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
She used to be she was a manager on MLW.
Okay.
She used to be on MLW. And she does custom wrestling videos. Where her get together and the guy say what type of match that they want, and they do.
And like what kind of storyline and shit, right?
So it's kind of like, it's people don't realize how much porn has kind of been the guinea pig and led the way on so many things in life.
Right, yeah. And then also they don't realize how much of porn isn't like exactly what they think, because like people forget fetish is a thing. And but it's all the same thing. Like people are jerking off to this shit. You ain't got to be naked in it for them. like I've done some like more what I call mundane fetish stuff that people don't even realize are fetishes. Like I know whole ass models who do basically non-nude fetishes who identify as sex workers. This is just their jam.
They do sneezing videos. That shit, man.
Exactly. They do sneezing. Like, so I went to this retreat once where a bunch of like fetish models who do these kinds of things get together, and we like started teaching each other all our secrets and stuff. I learned how to fake fall for damsel in distress fetish, which is like you pretend to twist your ankle. That's it. It's just a video of like different scenarios where you fall and trip and go, oh no, who's gonna help me? And that's it. That's it. People jerk off to this shit. Like, and like, or like the wrestling fetish where they just add extra shit and they're like, I want to see you. Like they care about the clothes. And then other wrestling fetish who are like, no, I want to see you pinned. And then other wrestling fetish that's like, then they finally add the fucking, like, and those are all different fucking categories. Like it's all the same.
Yeah.
It's all entirely the same. I might put this, help manifest this. There is a local wrestler who also does do porn out here called Funny Bone. And he does FSW slashing, like he really does his matches and shit like that, but he's got an OnlyFans where he does like actual explicit content, like because he's an indie wrestler who's doing like these local promotions like Ring of Honor style stuff, he can do this shit. And I'm gonna look into him more because I'm really particular about who I work with, but that would be a cap and or a feather in my cap, I think, to like actually
do a scene with an actual wrestler
who's an actual wrestler and also can handle like all of the job of being male talent, because that's its own fucking job too. Like a wrestler who can fucking mouth off, because he does like, he's like a creepy heel, kind of funny creepy heel, so he like is bald and stuff and does like skull face paint and shit, who can talk and keep his dick hard, and if he can pop on command, we're in business. At that point, I just need to find a ring that will let me do something in it. which you know is harder to fucking find, right? Because I gotta rent a whole fucking warehouse for that. Because like fucking Vince ruins everything. So like I had a bunch of like more slightly fucked up wrestling style videos I wanted to do until Vince came out with his fucking sex pestery bullshit. Like I literally wanted to do a video called Call Me Up, Vince. And it was going to be like me pretending to be an NXT star. You know how like Velveteen Dream used to be real fucking obnoxious with like his leggings and stuff? Call me up, Vince. Well, I was just going to offer to fuck him. And that was the whole video. But the motherfucker does it too much in real life. Now I feel weird doing it. I'm like, God, you ruin everything. like I want to.
Hey, I get somebody to play Vince. Yeah, that's some good shit right there.
That's disgusting.
I did.
It would work though. Like, how funny would it be? I even had this idea of just like doing it solo, but like pretending it's Vince's point of view. So like I wouldn't even need to hire male talent. I would just need someone to dub the lines.
Yeah.
And then you just put that in, so it's like from his perspective and stuff. But like, I should probably still do that. I know he's a huge piece of shit, but like it would sell. That would sell like fucking hotcakes.
You be sucking off the dildo, like, yeah, that's some good shit.
Yep, and then get somebody to record that and then put that in post. That, oh my God. Because like, here's the thing: if I had somebody doing that, if I had someone doing that like live, I wouldn't be able to do the scene. I would die laughing. I like every fucking thing we'd have to do, we'd have to cut because my dumb ass would be rolling on the floor.
Yeah, I could do the visual. Dang.
Like I've had certain ideas and scenes and stuff, like when I worked with my friends, like we've done like collab shit where it was just super stupid, where like if I was like a lesser person in some of these scenes, I would have ruined the whole fucking shot. We would have had spent hours upon hours shooting this shit. Like, so there was I remember one time, so I used to live with Cody Vore. She used to be my roommate. Now she's kind of like graduated, going on her own stuff. She's got her own house and things. But like I helped her with a custom once where it was one of these virtual POV customs where like same style of the Bailey video I was talking about. So the focus isn't on the penetration, it's on the fake, like imagining having sex with the person instead, so they don't care as much about like the visual penetration part. But filming that shit when you're not actually doing it is so fucking silly.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine. Got to see the girls, especially where they be doing it, where they be bouncing and shit.
Yep.
I know they ain't bouncing on a dick.
No, yep. And I'm like, and the worst part is I had to do this for my friend. So I was the camera guy, so I had to be the stand-in without the penis the whole time. And I'm just like doing this, and I'm like, okay, now let's pretend to fuck. And she's like going ham on top of me, doing all the dirty talk and stuff. And I'm like, don't laugh, don't fucking ruin this custom. So. Like if I ever, oh my God. So I did this really stupid, it's a porn, but it was like a porn parody of porn. Like we were making fun of porn tropes. Yeah. And it was like your classic pizza guy, stupid ass setup. Actually, I might have told the story already, but I'll tell it again because it's fun and keep it real short. But like, so me and my friend Cody and another friend of mine at the time, we were just getting together in a hotel room and we're just kind of like, let's just fucking come up with whatever, right? We're all tested, we're just having fun. And we decide we want to do a pizza guy video. We want to have like pretend we're fucking the pizza guy. So so one of our friends at the time, she had like jeans. She was the only one that had fucking jeans, and we wanted her to pretend to be the pizza guy. So we just gave her a dildo to fucking shove in her jeans. And then she was also the camera guy, and me and Cody basically opened the door and we're like, oh my God, we forgot our wallets. What can we do? Will a blowjob be enough for like 2 pizzas and some soda? Like super slow, super obnoxious with the porn voices and everything. And then so we get down to where we're doing the fake blowjob because we're going down on a dildo in this girl's pants. And like we finish on it and I have like this really dumb idea to like add fake cum, but we don't have any fake cum. But what we did have was Cinesticks frosting because our dumbasses had also ordered pizza for our shoot and we had gotten the Cinesticks. So we cut, I run over and I get the fake, the cinnamon cream or like the cream cheese or whatever frosting and I put it in and then like go to town deep throating this thing and we're like finishing the scene and stuff. But what I don't realize is like that shit is really sweet. It is super sweet. And I basically just fucking put it all the way at the back of my throat. So like while we're done, I start hacking like and we had to stop so many times in the middle because we're like mouthing off with like this dumb shit, just like this corniest porns lines. I'm like, oh my God, you're so close to coming. I can feel it. And it's fucking frosting. And like I had to cut because I'm like you see multiple moments. Like we have this BTS bloopers reel from this shoot where I'm just constantly rolling on the floor because I'm dying at how stupid it is. And then after we're done, I run to the bathroom to wash the fucking frosting out of my mouth because like I injected that motherfucker right into the back of my throat. And like I can't see because I was wearing, well, I still wear glasses, but I didn't have contacts in for the scene, and I didn't want to wear my glasses, so I had taken them off. And it was at the SLS, which has all this mirrored shit everywhere, and I missed the door to the bathroom and hit this glass. Right after this scene, I hit this glass door. And I fall to the floor and I'm giggling because at this point it's so fucking stupid I can't see straight. And the best part is if I'm gonna look for the footage because this shit's on film. Like as soon as we ended this scene, I'm like done. I gotta get this frosting out of my mouth. I start screaming. I'm like, get it out! And I run to the bathroom, hit their fake sliding glass door, and then fall and just start peeling laughter. Can't handle the shit.
Yeah,
But like.
It's like the scenes I like to do is I try to pick scenes that are what I consider realistic fantasies. Which
yeah, exactly, because like those are more fun, you know.
Yeah, because like
and some of the stupid stuff can be fun. Like I do make campy porn, but like most of the stuff I try to set up is like stuff that could happen.
What did I did? One of my favorite ones.
Mm-hmm.
It was with this lady named Jenna, and it was called Weeds for Ass. And I'm a weed man. I'm bringing her. She has no money. So I'm about to leave. She was like, well, is this something we could trade? I'm like, what can we trade? She was like, I can eat your ass. Yeah, I looked back at her like, oh, so you eat ass? I'm like, okay. And that was the scene. She ate my ass and I fucked the brakes off. And I always like to have little strange endings. Like one of the ones I did, it was called sexual healing. And the storyline is the girl's a nurse, but she's not a nurse. She's actually an escort dressed as a nurse.
Okay.
And she's supposed to go see a client.
Right.
I'm an actual patient waiting for a nurse. She goes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, she goes to the wrong room. She fucked the shit out of me and everything. So I get a phone call, which I made my cameraman, because we stopped it and then we set it up.
Right. And then set up that, yeah.
Said, hey, oh, you looking for the room? Well, I thought you had came. And then it appears to her and she gets on the phone and be like, hello? Wait a second, what room you in? I went to the damn wrong room.
See, I love shit like that. Like these kinds of like, I'm not supposed to fuck this person, but not necessarily homewrecker shit, which I'm fine with. Like I've totally done that, but like you gotta find in porn, you always gotta find different reasons for people to fuck, right?
The wrong dude. That would.
Yeah, like I basically did a similar video with Shaundam where like I pretend to be a housewife. That it was about the time the Bird Box video came out or movie came out, and everyone was doing that challenge where they blindfold themselves and do something. So the setup is I'm filming a YouTube video where the Bird Box challenge for me is I take out the trash with a blindfold on, but also I seduce my husband. So we cut this little bit where it's like me and I've got like a tie, like a regular necktie tied around my head, and I'm pretending to take out the trash. And on the way back, I go in the wrong apartment. So I because I'm supposed to be blindfolded the whole time, like that's the whole point. And so like I'm carrying a selfie stick because I'm pretending to film myself, and I'm like, now I'm gonna seduce my husband for this video, tee-hee, and like totally walk in. It's a video I did with Shaundam. So the way we had it set up was that like Sean is just like, what the fuck? This girl comes in out of nowhere and she's like, oh my God, I'm gonna suck your dick, husband. Oh my, and he's like, okay. So the whole time, first off, I have to do this whole scene while I'm blindfolded, which is annoying. But two, we kind of have him play it up. Like we do these little simple lines that make it super obvious this isn't my apartment. Like I'm like, oh, honey, just go sit on the red chair. But there's no red chair in the Ovid. So he just sits me on the couch and I can't see, so it doesn't matter. Then I'm like, oh my God, your voice is so deep. Are you sick? I'm going to have to take care of you later. Just like all this super dumb shit. But that's also like really hot, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
But
hot
no,
in a fetish
but
way without being super
shit
fetishy.
like that goes over better than just a straight fuck scene
Yeah,
because people do want storyline with their sex. They do
they
want
do.
storyline with their porn. They want something to follow, you
Even
know.
if it's just a little bit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because even to the point, like, even me and the girl did a straight fuck scene. Damn it, I'm running out of juice.
Same here, actually.
You know, yeah,
Well, there's gonna have to be a part 3 to this eventually, huh?
you will have to come back. But like I was saying, even with
Yeah.
me, I kind of like myself. I kind of, I even as a straight fuck scene, I'm gonna oil up your ass, give you a massage, do something of that
Yeah,
nature.
because you gotta act like if you're not doing a storyline, then you want it to be like teasy and visual and shit. And like, I've noticed that like straight fuck scenes or gonzo scenes do really well if there's chemistry between the two people. Because then the storyline is like, oh, these people like they like to fuck each other. Okay, I'm more into that. Versus just like a straight up hotel sex tape or whatever the fuck, right? Like those don't do as well. For
Yeah,
me, my fans like if my fans want to see a straight fuck scene from me, they want to know it's because I, as a slut, want to fuck that guy, and that's the story.
yeah,
Like I'm into that dude, or whatever. This idea of getting him off, and that's the story. That's what it becomes.
most definitely. So people, because my phone is going dead, and I hate because I see me and her can talk for about 3 to 4 hours. She will be back, people, and also we're gonna get her on one of the Pro Wrestling Smokes episodes, also, so we can
Yeah,
talk
I
some.
gotta give Billy a hard time. he
Because
don't like my millennial cowboy, so I gotta pick on him, which is
yeah,
fine. Again, like I said, I am
I
absolutely
like
cool with
I
people
like
hitting
Adam.
my wrestlers.
I actually like Adam Page. I just think that when it comes to millennial cowboys, the shit is they doing too much of it.
No, yeah, like his build up to his championship run was really good, but his actual championship run wasn't great.
Well, for
Like,
one, because they didn't have any quality opponents built up for him to face.
yeah,
No,
and that's a
and
lot of the problem with AEW too. Is they're still kind of new, so they're still kind of building their fucking storyline and their lore and shit.
what you gotta understand is that even Vince had his hiccups and his headaches when he first started.
Mm-hmm.
This man has not been booking any wrestling. He's not worked in any wrestling.
No, Tony Khan does not know what the fuck he's doing. He
No,
has no idea.
but
He
see,
can't run a locker room to save his fucking life.
but see, that's the thing though. He's not going to know.
No.
That's what I realize. He's not going to know. He's going to have to make mistakes to learn from them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this ain't because he might have ran the Jaguars, but he never ran the Jaguars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. He owned them. It's not the same.
He owns him. His daddy do more than that. He just helps
Mm-hmm.
out. Yeah, his more focus is AEW, but he has good booking here and there. It's just the problem is that he don't have a cohesive show from start.
Yeah. The storylines don't fit in together and shit.
Yeah, because even to the point, like just recently, like you just had the Acclaim win the tag titles.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're gonna put them in a feud with Tony Nese and Josh Woods, and the purpose of the feud is because Sterling decided that he wanted to trademark Suzume. That's
which
dumb
which
as fuck.
is it is dumb as fuck. Like it could work because the Acclaimed are a comedy tag team, but like, and I love the fact that these mid card people are getting like some time to shine, but that's not going to bring any prestige to the title. Like I don't care about the tag championship. Like like
Because it's to the point that like when they sit there and talk about um like for example, they don't me and Billy talk about this all the time. They don't
Mhm.
make mention of elevation and dark. So when you do see these guys challenge for a belt, it's
You have
like
no idea who half of them are.
it's kind of like, okay, how did they get a title shot?
Yeah,
Saying
exactly.
he takes into account that people watch elevation and dark. Everybody don't watch it.
No,
The one
everybody don't, especially because Elevation and Dark are on fucking YouTube. Like, no, there's not a consistent place to like tune in.
and they don't
Yeah.
promote it in the main shows. And see, the other thing too that I liked about the old school wrestling compared to this is that old school, let's say if something happened on another show, they showed you exactly what happened on the other show to set up.
Yeah, they kind of give you like a little lowdown video or promo
Yeah, they be like,
compilation.
said, like, for example, the Acclaim, they're ranked number 2. They had they win on elevation against this tag team. You show the highlights of that match. You show the highlights of this match. So it kind of makes everyone say, okay, now I see why they're getting the title shot. You know?
There's more consistency, basically.
And two, also, the other argument me and him have is about everyone wants to see FTR versus the Young Bucks. I don't want to see that. Not
I
now.
mean,
It's
I already know how that's gonna go.
Yeah, because to me, one, I don't even want FTR anywhere near the AEW tag titles because they don't need them.
They don't.
They got the Ring of Honor tag titles. They got the New Japan tag titles. They got the AAA tag titles.
And FTR is amazing. Like, maybe for a house show, like they're doing some mix or something, that would be amazing. But, like, they don't need it. They're plenty fucking prestigious. And the Bucks don't need the fucking tag champion either. They don't. They're sold. They're good. They're stars. Like,
and everyone's saying they selfish, they this, but dude, they didn't even want the belt. The only why they took the belt because damn Jeff Hardy couldn't motherfucking stay sober.
And I say that as a fucking Hardy fan. Totally agree. Like, love them, but like,
he could not stay sober because they were the ones that supposed to won that ladder match and won the tag titles. Because he fucked up and got that DWI.
Yeah.
It forced the Young Bucks to get the belts, and you saw how quickly they gave the belts up. So I think sometimes people are
like
harder.
None of the elite have really been given any fucking belts, really. Like, they don't need it. They know that.
They actually didn't want it. Even with Omega. Omega didn't want the title.
No, he didn't.
Him to get it.
Yeah.
Period. Because they knew that us being EVPs, the first thing we're gonna holler is that, well, y'all put the belt on yourselves because y'all EVPs. Y'all just want to get your
yeah. Like, you're being paid. You're the fucking company man.
Yeah. Then y'all complain when they don't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn if they do, damn if they don't. Like I said,
Exactly. Yeah.
Is about Kenny Olivier, my bad. You can say that. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. I get some of the stuff that he's saying, but some of the stuff, some of these motherfuckers don't give them more credit than what they do. The guys, do I think they're great bookers? No. Should they be booking any? No, they shouldn't book shit. Just stick with being rascal. That's it.
Yep. Can they put on a show, though? They can put on a fucking show. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Young Bucks is one of the top 3 tag teams in the world. I'm sorry.
And part of the problem is not enough fucking other promotions put any goddamn prestige into tag champions, so they're going to continue to be one of the top 3.
Thank you. Yeah. Because even to the point of, like, with WWE, who can we actually sit here and say could really challenge the Usos?
Yeah, like in WWE right now, who are a true tag team? Like, that is what they do. You haven't seen a tag team like the Dudley Boys or the Hardy Boys in WWE since. Like, you haven't.
It's got what
like the fucking Iconics. I love them, but they got the tag championships at WrestleMania. Now they're fucking retired a year later. Like, no one knows who the fuck they are. Like, they don't care.
That's what I said. Wrestling is wrestling, yo. So look, I'm down to 2%. So with that being said, baby girl, tell everybody what they can spend money on you.
You can find me on onlyfans.com/Tegan Trex. If you want to get a preview of all that shit and know what I'm going to mouth about, you can always check me out on Twitter, which is twitter.com/Tegan Trex. I also have an Instagram. I'm not as active there, but I do post thirst traps. And if you want to see all of my content on the timeline for one standard payment, that's onlyfans.com/TeegTV, TEEG TV. That's basically where you can go and basically watch Teague Theater without having to like fucking get DMs and all the PPDs and stuff. That's where I can be found. The best place to catch me though to get to know me is Twitter, because I mouth off a lot on there.
And she will be back. The next time y'all see her will be in the premium smoke room. So y'all know it gets a little bit more open over there. She might even flash the camera for y'all. We don't know what she might do up in there.
If you can get me some gems, I might even twerk a little. I'm not bad at it. I'm not bad.
Show me the booty a little bit. Show me the booty a little bit. Look at that. See, that's why you got to subscribe to the.
See, I did this shit as Bailey. Talk about big ass Bailey.
I would literally kiss her ass. But anyway, like I said, she will be back. Subscribe to the Premium Smoke Room, $4.99 a month. 7 premium podcasts for you to enjoy. Like I said, we get more candid, more wide open. You don't know what the girls might do. They might go topless the whole scene, the whole episode. They might play, suck on a dildo, demonstrate titty fucking. You never know. And we're gonna talk about some real shit and get real, even more real than we do in the Smokers Lounge. So, with that being said, so I won't have this phone cut off and I look like an idiot. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you didn't learn anything? Smoke this over. Say goodbye to the people, Tegan.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining and learning.
You have such a sexy voice.
Oh, thank you.
I got you covered.
Somebody call the FBI. What is going on? Somebody still dude out. My fans would never speak to me so disrespectfully. They'd be like,
but see, here's the difference between your fans and theirs.
Yeah, my fans would be like,
you see, you're a dominatrix, so
of course one man could never be enough for our goddess. You need all of them.
The Premium Smoke Podcast, where all the porn stars come to.
I do.
Shop it.
I unfortunately do know every bitch that dick has ever touched. Well, at least in the last 3 years. But scene is so hot. It's an hour long. And it was such an intense scene that I actually dropped into I dropped off into subspace during the scene.
It's causing that good habit and give you that great smoke.
Okay, Willie, I knew it was that. I was clear back when he was fine. And then I felt like this. And I said, what the fuck? And yeah, I guess he wanted to get deeper. So he.
I'm sorry, bitch. Just got
he put his stomach on my bowel.
Sugar and spice and everything. So you been belly fucked. Yeah, we live in a world where we love separating shit. Look at porn, for instance. You got BBW porn, BDSM porn, racial porn. Hold on. But I'm going to tell you what's interesting. Think about this. What's the name for white on white porn? I'm waiting. Come to the dark side and let me give you that deep.
Because it also, the best cage match ever for me is Tully Blanchard versus Maggot TA, because they fought like two guys that actually had issues. And fighting is not cool. You roll around on the ground,